And welcome in, Gyms and Gemettes, to another exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. This is episode number 4 on the docket. Put your fours up. It's the fourth quarter. Coming at you live on it's a cold day out in the Chicagoland area. I know I woke up to negative temperatures. We're maybe rolling around, I don't know, low teens. It's okay. That's the weather checking as of right now. My name's Nick Johnson coming at you. We got the Super Bowl set. We got Royal Rumble to recap as well. We got some fun stuff in between NBA and MLB. But before we do all that, coming off a tough loss over there, just watch you over on Fat Cat Streams. If you're ever bored, check out those streams on the Twitch.
Let's
Mikey J Fat
go.
Cat, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah, I was just lost by a field goal in Madden, so it happens. But I'm 8-4. Catch me on the stream. I'm always cooking people up, so that
Yeah,
doesn't happen most of the time.
rocking with the Colts, rocking with Jonathan Taylor, a healthy Jonathan Taylor. I
Yeah,
know you're in your little TPL league. I don't know what it stands for. You probably fill me in
the
on that, but
People's League.
there you go. I love the
The
sound of that.
People's League.
And it's filled all 32 people, correct?
Yeah, there's a one person for every team.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's always fun being a part of that. I know myself. I was just a mixture of not good enough to play in these to participate in such bad
Yeah.
leagues, especially so competitive. I know, being with Bill and you, like these guys have been in the leagues, have been in other leagues just so competitively. So I know
Mm-hmm.
tough break. No, but good on you to have be an 8-4 record with you're rocking Matt Ryan. You didn't do anything too crazy.
Yeah.
You didn't like I know you didn't like I guess as you say, Madden it up and did something
Mm.
funky, added like a crazy rookie with a cannon of an arm or something like that. You're playing it straight, so that's how you do it. I like how you're rolling with it.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
fun, man. This season has been very fun. And yeah,
there you
like
go.
you were saying, I was very worried at first too for joining because I was like, I'm so bad, like I'm just gonna get cooked. And I've probably gotten better from being in the league alone.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah,
it's been fun.
yeah. Good on that. Good, awesome. Yeah. So like I said, we got a jam packed episode. You had a pretty good days all around, so that's good to hear. Unfortunately, starting off a little somber, a little upset. I know a little bit of a downer so
Mm.
far. For a couple of these episodes, just been plagued with some bummer news to start off with. But if we got to do it because you got to pay homage, you got to pay respect. Rest in peace, Bobby Hall passed away just over this weekend at the age of 84. I mean, yeah, you got obviously, paying respect. We got a Chicago podcast, Chicago sports podcast. Got to shout out to the guys that paved the way. 15 years on the Blackhawks. He was one of the, I guess, looking at my notes and all that fun stuff, one of the first people to score 50 goals in a season. I'll just go ahead and
Wow.
hit the highlights, hit the top achievements for our guy over here. Uh, a 3-time Art Ross Trophy winner, a 10-time first all team on the left wing,
Mm.
2 more times all second team. Stanley Cup winner for the 1961 Blackhawks, so good on him. 2-time Hart
Let's
Memorial
go.
Trophy winner. Lady Being, I'm going to butcher that one. Lady Being Memorial Trophy winner 1965.
Mm.
Lester Patrick Trophy winner 1969. uh, Huge number of WHA achievements as well. Inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983.
Oh, oh.
Retired the second leading scorer in goals and ninth in points scored. As of right now, he's 12th and 43rd. But he retired in 1983. Uh, Upon that, let me see. What was the really cool one that I saw? He was the third hockey player to ever be on Times Magazine, on the cover of Times Magazine. So I think that's pretty cool.
Wow.
That An inaugural member of the World Hockey Association Hall of Fame. That's the WHA that I couldn't think of. So there you go. I mean, tons of accolades. Of course, there's a ton of people that are also trying to bring them down. And of course, I don't know if anyone saw maybe a quote from his grandson. He tweeted this, that, and the other. Like he's got a dark past and whatnot. So it's a little disgusting when people do try and attack an 80-year-old man not 10 hours after this guy just went cold. So
Wow.
it's a tough look. So I know he had whatever he had. I think a couple of domestic abuse things that throughout his time. I don't know. I'm not here to stick up for him. I'm here to just tell you that he had a pretty solid career. upon just doing the 50 goals. And from one of the first people to do that, he did that 5 times in his 15 years. Like I said, I know people are going to shoot shots everywhere. And I think it was when I first looked it up, the New York Times, I think it was the New York Times. That was their leading headline. Just come on, man. It's a little gross. It's a little upset. There's enough upsetting things throughout the time. So, give your flowers if you wanted. I don't know. Just it is what it is. We're gonna say tip our cap and R.I.P. to Bobby Hall.
Yeah,
What a
R.I.P.
guy.
Bobby Hall,
Yeah,
man.
he was a dog. He was an absolute dog. So yeah, I don't know if you had anything on that. I know Bill was way much better at these, especially
Yeah, and I
when it
was
comes to a
just
hockey
never
guy.
I was never too much into hockey
Yeah,
growing up, so I just like don't personally know too much about him, so I
yeah,
don't I don't want to get too much into it, but
yeah. That's
obviously
just
pay
also
my
the
respects
generation.
to him, man.
Yeah, I was telling you off air. Like I was fortunate enough to actually meet him, like, going to a game with a couple coworkers. So at the time it was like, oh man, it's Bobby Hall, and who people I was going with, they were 18 at the time. Like, who's Bobby Hall? I'm like, who's Bobby? What are you kid? You kids got come on, man. I don't want to show my. I was probably like 21 or 22 at the time. So just throwing that out there. But either way, just he's good. He's a legend. Either whatever you want to look at it. I mean, he also just paving the way with the curved stick. That's also, like I said,
Mm.
trying to look into it, doing my due diligence. Why this, that, and the other. So, R.I.P. Bobby Hall. That's unfortunate. Uh, we'll get a little bit happier, I suppose, or I'll just say I'll just get around my thank yous for the week. Thank yous are all around. Thank you to Candace Parker. It's
Hmm.
unfortunately signing with the Las Vegas Aces.
She's
She's no
leaving
longer
us.
leaving. Yes, her services are no longer going to be with us in the Chicago Sky. She's getting a little up there. So I think it wasn't really going to be Candace Parker for too much longer either way. But I do want to say thank you for the ring. I think she was on the team for 2 3 years. So that was awesome. Dominant run onto the playoff run, getting a ring along with along with Candace Parker, Courtney Vandersloot, getting those just locking it down. So that was
Yeah,
fun. So again,
Vandersloot.
thank you, and that tip of the cap. Again, I'll also just thank you all as well for the birthday wishes. That was also fun to see. So that was just nice as well. Last little thing before we get into the sports, I want to talk about The Last of Us. We haven't really been doing that just because I've been catching up. I thought I started a little bit late. I know that the episodes drop every Wednesday,
It's Sunday.
Sunday.
Every
Thank you. See,
Sunday
exactly. Sunday, Sunday,
at
Sunday, and
like 7 or something.
yeah, this third one. You're all caught up, right? Did you ended up catching?
Yeah.
You ended up watching the third one. I mean, yeah. Full disclosure. I mean, we'll just say right now. Spoiler alerts. First, maybe I'm not gonna go too heavy on spoilers. I don't want to.
But
I mean, to be fair, I don't want to like hold you hostage or nothing like that. So say what it is. I'll full disclaimer. If you don't want to listen to anything like that, it's
skip a
spoilers
little
ahead,
forward, yeah.
or maybe go watch. Yeah, move ahead or go play the video game. So go do it. Go ahead and do
Yeah,
that
you
either way.
just play the video game and then come back here.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's been pretty fun. I haven't played the game myself, so maybe just getting the perspective of someone who hasn't, who's only just enjoying and watching this and being exposed to this for the first time through the cinematic TV point of view. I think that's pretty cool, as well as you get to also get deep dive into being you've played and have you played both games?
No.
Oh, okay, so just playing the one game, correct? Just playing the first
Yeah.
one. Okay, all right. So obviously that's just really all that's important. That's really the
Hmm.
important part as of now. So I think I mean I don't know. Just I think we should just really deep dive into the third one. People as of right now, you can go ahead, jump ahead, and just see like, hey, it's about I think when we were throwing it out there, I left it very vague. Just a fungus infection sprouting from a possible outbreak in a flour slash bread factory going
Yeah,
out of.
basically.
Yeah, so you obviously just stop me when I'm wrong, but just it's about this guy named Joel who has a daughter at the time, and you're introduced to there in the first episode. Starts off really awesome. I'll maybe just to get off on this idea with you. Do you watch when you watch them? Do you watch the inside the episodes, the little 5 minute snippets afterward when all said and done on the app, or do you have you seen any of those?
I was gonna say I didn't even know they did that.
Those are actually really fun. So they did
Yeah.
those for the Game of Thrones. I know you're watching those as well. So maybe when it gives you the option to jump to the next episode, if you want to stick around and take the extra couple of minutes and watch them, I did because I had the luxury of having them on DVD. I didn't automatically skip to the next thing. It would actually save it and linger around, which was fine for me because it gave me an insight. It wasn't like, oh, just some random YouTuber telling me what I think I should know. It was the directors telling me exactly what was going on and what happening. So I think it's
Mhm.
a better insight of just some random guy guessing as
Yeah,
to
that's
what these
true.
is supposed to mean. So either way, I think that was pretty cool. And it made me appreciate the first episode, like just the episodes a little bit more. Made me appreciate the actors and what they were trying to do, what they were trying to display in said episodes. Like again in the first one, spoiler alert. You're not gonna know. You're not really gonna follow the daughter, so she ends up passing away in the end of the episode. So she it's and
Yeah.
again it's said like her verbatim in the inside the episode. She needs to like make an immediate connection to the audience. Like she's a sweetheart. She's this. She's that. She needs to be like cared and taken care of and all that. So it was pretty cool. And then of course also hearing her perspective of all that stuff blowing up around her, saying it was actually genuinely terrifying to be in such a situation. So some of those are like actual authentic reaction. So I thought that's always pretty
Hmm.
cool to like, also get the insight on that, whether it's just fun on that. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. So I mean, like I said, maybe jumping ahead, episode 2 was pretty cool. Of course, you figure out that you're not going to be following what the girl Megan, is it Megan? I'm sorry, what's the
Tess.
Tess. I'm as soon as you were about to say it, I was thinking because of course I think of the third episode, which is more or less what I really want to talk about. Yeah, but of course Tess, important character as well. Some are saying whether you're following the game or not, that's not really how she passed away. Did you, any takeaways so far on anything like that? It was what was the and was it a big controversy that second episode ending?
No, I honestly it was pretty similar
Okay.
to how she died. They just kind of changed up the zombies. It was like the zombies instead of, well, infected. I guess they're not zombies, but
Yeah.
it was the infected.
Pardon me to the
The
zombie infected community.
zombie community.
Yeah.
They sent this. They had infected in the show come to kill her instead of like the Fedra agents with guns in the game like come to the buildings, and
Yeah.
she basically dies in the same way. So that
Yeah.
was basically the same. They
Yeah.
only just changed from the game so far from this last episode.
Oh, it was just from the last episode. It was
Yeah,
basically
the
just
third episode
okay.
was like the biggest thing that they've changed so far.
Okay, yeah, and that's actually a good transition into essentially just talking about what we've seen so far in this last one. And I gotta tell you, I mean, full disclosure,
Mm.
I cried. I cried. I was upset. And it wasn't really any before anyone, hits me with the soft, you're the soft dog.
I'm glad you
I
said that because I was gonna say that too.
I mean it was it was a mixture of I was able to make a connection with these two characters, and just like I said, based on that I thought of my relationship with my girlfriend and stuff like that. Had to just me putting myself. This is the second time that this show has made me basically anxiety ridden of like, oh, oh fuck, I could not. What would I do if I was in that? So like, oh Jesus, like it was 100%. The first time was the scene when they're in the car when everything's just going to hell and everything's
Hmm.
falling apart, and I'm just like, I would have no wherewithal to do what to back up to go there. I'm not prepared
Yeah, I
whatsoever
just
for this to
crawl up in a
happen.
ball and
Yeah,
get
exactly.
like,
Like there's nothing I could do. It is just what I need and what I can prepare for. Like I have contacts, dude. Like where am I gonna get contacts? Like I would have to grab those. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be blind. Like it just again, just that's just what go. That was swimming through my head during just stuff like that. And sure enough, in this third episode, when he throws out that, I mean, just such a beautiful story. They're always throwing. They're gonna. I mean, just a beautiful love story, just from beginning to end. Just however you want to look at it and whatnot. It was so
And
much
I
fun.
see
And
people hating it on the internet,
of
and
course,
we know.
they are.
I'm just gonna say we know why you're
Yeah, of
hating
course.
it.
Because I mean, people are ignorant for every reason whatsoever. But I mean, Nick Offerman is a phenomenal actor. He absolutely kills this role. I did not know the other actors, the character who plays Frank, or the
Yeah,
actor who
I
plays
was not
Frank.
familiar
Yeah,
with him either.
yeah. I mean, they made me care about these two people that I'd never met in a matter of what 45, 50 minutes. I know it was a long one of those longer episodes. It was an hour and 20 minutes long. So
Hmm.
I
But they
mean,
had stuff in between,
yeah.
like
And
at the
again,
beginning and the end, that wasn't even with those two. So,
yeah.
but yeah, like you said, it was like 50 minutes.
Yeah, so yeah, they got some of course, they discover what happens afterward, and I'll leave it lingering at that maybe, but I don't know, obviously we maybe get into that either way. Spoilers ahead, still keeping it if you're staying keeping it involved, still scrolling along or something. I'm gonna actually try and add chapters this episode.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm gonna do some due diligence, do some actual editing and stuff
I
like
see
that.
that. Yeah, you people do that on YouTube,
Yeah,
so that'd
exactly. It
be
makes it a little
cool.
bit easier, makes some stuff to go around like that. So yeah, either way, I mean, like I said, the 50 minutes that it took to just care about these two characters, and from meeting them in the hole, and just going on, and so they're just a nice little string along of 3 years, 5 years later, 7 years later, and so on and so forth, and we're finally to the present. And like I said, you're there, you're sitting there, and I guess he was cancer ridden or some sort of, they don't really
Yeah,
go into the
something
detail of
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sick. He's sick, and he's like, this is my last day. We'll do this, we'll do that, and then you're just like, oh fuck, like what would I do? That was kind of like, oh my god, what would I do? Like I can't do that. Like it's just insane. And of course, just like I said, I more or less just wanted to talk about the episode because it was so impactful to me. I mean, like I said, I was upset. I was bawling. I can't. What am I gonna do? I just.
Yeah.
So, so I was trying to hold myself together, and like I said, I just wanted to. Yeah, it was more or less just story was beautiful, how they portrayed it, and just the overall frame, the arc of the episode. Push. Actually, this wasn't like 50 minutes of who cares. This kind of actually did set up a little bit towards the end. So it was cool that he
Yeah.
wrote that down in the message. And if you click, that's again, it's from the inside the Last of Us. When you click on afterwards, uh, the director was like, "Oh, he has tests in the letter." He's like, "Oh, this was like further putting on, like, oh, this is just another failure that Joel has put on. Not only has she died, he's watched his daughter die and stuff, so on and so forth. So he's got a lot going on in his mind. So in my head, again, not having not no further acknowledgement of what's going to happen next. Like this should maybe get like the kick in the pants that he's like, all right, this final challenge of finally getting this kid to Oregon or wherever the hell they're trying to go. This is my mission. I'm just going to put my nose to the grind and actually try and do this. So maybe with something like that, I'm sure again, this was like finally like a good final hoorah. They ended off on a good note. They got the car and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. I think I did enough talking about that. Maybe anything I didn't really hit on that, anything that really just affected you. Maybe it was maybe share with me maybe how this affected you, or how you maybe why this made you just maybe did you also tear you up a little bit, just a little bit. I mean, like I said, I don't just a little bit. I don't want to sit
Yeah,
here
I
and be
was
the only one.
saying, yeah, this episode was very emotional. Yeah, I was just watching it late at night, and I was like kind of just laying down, and I was taking a little bit to get into it, and then yeah, I was just like, I was like sitting on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, no, like I was so like, yeah, I never really feel that way either with stuff like that, but yeah, it's very good how they did it. It was different from the game in the sense that like Bill and they showed like they make it seem like Bill and Frank hated each other in the
Oh,
game,
okay.
and Frank hangs himself, and Bill is alive in the games. He just helps them get a battery, and like he interacts with Joel and Ellie for a little bit, and they like do a little mission to get the battery for the car and stuff. So they kind of switched it around to do this like this story, which I thought was way better than
Yeah.
the game. I mean, she basically it just made it seem like they hated each other, but this
Yeah.
was like way better, and people were like, Bill just is like, spoiler alert. Yeah, Bill's dead at the end of the
Yeah.
episode, and yeah, there's just people are like upset about that play the game, because they're like, why would they change it drastically that much? But it's like, he's honestly not even in it that much, so I don't know. I thought that it
No.
was fine.
Yeah, that's pretty good because again, I'll keep referencing the inside the episodes. What starts off that third episode, the inside of the third episode is if when in doubt, go with the game. When he can make it better, he's gonna go and stray away and start something off with this. And that was exactly the game plan. It was you don't really have enough insight on Frank and Bill's thing. So like again, and you were kind of just how you again, you're right. This didn't really affect the game. It doesn't really affect the outcome as long as it keeps pushing forward the storyline as it does. So this was a fun little edit tangent break away from the storyline. A good in my mind, again, I didn't being the first taking in reference of The Last of Us. I liked this version. I think this was great. I think this was, like I said, it tug on the heartstrings for me. So I was able to make a connection. So I mean, exactly right. He was exactly right. If he stuck with the game, stick with the game. I'm sure that's a good enough storyline. But if you can do something like that, feel free. I mean, that was amazing, and that was just
Yeah,
exactly again, that was awesome. So yeah, that was just like I said,
yeah,
more.
it was really good.
Yeah, and again, just like and you get like Nick Offerman's also in that if you want to get
Hmm.
so yeah, it's just awesome. Just if you again stick around, I'm gonna be very much not like what would it be? Well, again, if you're all just waiting for it, like I was going to be, like I'm gonna wait, like I'll binge watch it or whatever. Stick around. Don't click too fast on the next episode button. Stick around for that inside the episode part. So
Hmm.
I think that's pretty awesome. If you were good on The Last of Us, I think we can hop on into some sports. We can hop on into this, get on into the sports guy.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Alrighty. I think we got to get into the meat and potatoes. The Super Bowl set, and whether or not I'm not too happy just because my Christmas present died, but I more or less just wasn't happy because the NFC Championship was a bit of a snore, and in terms of the AFC Championship, boy, everyone and their mothers just complain about rough ball. So I don't know. I think just for the sake of chronological order and for the sake of my notes, start off with the NFC Championship, and then we'll head on to the AFC Championship being the little bit juicier one. How's that sound to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome, cool. Maybe start off with actually even jump a little further ahead or further backward on this one. Maybe this one was the writing on the wall, seeing the Joey Bosa viral video, the drunk interaction with a Philadelphia fan. Like I said, kind of set the tone of what it was going to be. Joey Bosa kind of taking some L's left and right that taught the press conference afterward, him complaining about the refs. So they're sitting in a room laughing at me after I make those calls. Like, bro, that's some bitch shit right there. And then just throwing out the I make more money than you, bro, type
Yeah, that
deal. It's like, it's a tough look. Even if you do, it's whatever. And again, it's another one when like your girl's like giving you the like that push if you go upon further review, and they're like, it's a little bit embarrassing. You kind of you can feel the embarrassment around in that little friend group. I don't know. So people are dogging on him for that. People are dogging on him for just going full out rocking the San Francisco gear when he's obviously an LA Charger or whatever.
yeah.
You can do whatever. I mean, if you're just there to support your brother, that's kind of what you're there to do at that point. So either way, whatever you want to do. Any thoughts on Joey Bosa before we get started?
No, yeah, I mean, welcome.
You had a good one. You said his nose is longer than his list of accomplishments. So that
Yeah,
was good.
that's what I was saying in the chat.
Yeah, that one had me
He has
going.
nothing to say to anybody.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it is what it is. He's a tough guy. I wouldn't want to fight him, but
Well, yeah,
it's tough.
yeah.
It's a tough.
It
It is a tough look when you're trying
If
to
you're
like you
listening to
said.
this, Joey Bosa,
I mean, yeah,
you're
again.
cool.
Yeah, get on here. We'll interview you. But a Bud
Yeah,
Light
that'd be
seltzer,
cool.
cherry flavored. Maybe
Oh
get a
no.
regular beer guy.
Mm.
Either way, I guess I kind of was the
How
barely
many
writing
else
on the
can he
wall. So.
have?
Somebody else. Yeah, 49ers clan got a legit quarrel, I suppose, with the Devontae Smith catch, but more or less that meant nothing. They were just riddled with injury. Brock Purdy leaving early. Nick Bosa getting clipped on the sideline. If you saw that, he was, he kind of was grimacing throughout.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I mean, the
some
49ers were
shrapnel.
dealing with injuries all game long. They
Yeah.
were just getting wrecked.
Yeah, Josh Johnson comes in for a hi, how are ya? Then leaves again with a head injury. They put Purdy back in, and then we find out he should be out the next 6 months with an ulna tear.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
a doctor.
He
I
couldn't
don't think
throw.
they didn't throw the ball at all. They kept handing it off when they were down 24-7, 31-7. It just wasn't going the right way. They were injury riddled. Wasn't really looking good. I can't sit here and say that's the sole reason why they lost. The defense kind of the Niners defense kind of just kept them in there while they could, but just the offense just couldn't execute. Christian McCaffrey was there for a little bit. He did what he could, but just the Eagles just shut him down and did what they did. They put him in a chokehold and just kind of just put it on cruise control afterward, just getting all the rushing yards and all the scores on the ground, and just like I said, just breezing it, cruising by. A couple of flags. People are saying just maybe more or less could have taken the wind out of the 49ers sails, were kind of brought back any chance of them being a part of the game. But again, I think more or less just not having Brock Purdy there was really the downfall. Trying to beat up on an elite defense just wasn't going to happen with these guys, with a hurt guy, with Josh Johnson as well. It was a bad look. I know. I wish I could say it was a good game, but I didn't really watch the majority of it. And I was moving around the second half, and if when I looked through the box score and I saw that the leading receiver had 36 yards, Devontae Smith, so his first catch, and I think he caught one other ball for a touchdown or something like that, and then just I actually I don't even know if there was a score through the air. Honestly, yeah, like I said, if I just looked at the box score and I didn't watch the game at all, I would just say that I didn't miss anything. I did not miss a competitive slobber knocker in any sort of sense. So my only toss up really is just I wish that it could have, and a lot of people, a lot of others are saying the same thing. Just I wish this could have decided whether or not you settle the QB controversy that would be set up for next year for the San Francisco 49ers. Whether or not they go back to Purdy, whether they try Trey Lance once he's fully healthy, Jimmy Garoppolo, or some other people have thrown out trading for Aaron Rodgers. So I I don't know, maybe more or less on that. Give me your thoughts on just the game if you have anything else to add on that, or just like I said, what are your thoughts on the 49ers future? Really, just what do you think they should do with Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I mean, it got ugly quick, that game. That was one of those games where you're kind of watching on and off and I was kind of just watching it on the side because I was just like, it's over. Like, you knew that they had
Yeah,
no
they kept it
chance.
competitive, but it was like, when are the Eagles gonna just break them, and just break down and take a big lead? And it took to like the end of the second, beginning of the third for them to really break out and take a big lead on them. After that,
Once Purdy went out, I was like, they're done.
yeah,
When
100%.
he got hurt, I was like, they're cooked. And yeah, Josh Johnson. And I mean, there was a point where, like they said, McCaffrey or like Juszczyk was going to be the quarterback.
McCaffrey was their fourth string QB after, I mean, would have technically the third after Purdy,
Yeah.
Josh Johnson, and then McCaffrey. But
I was hanging out with Alan, and when we just hear the announcers, we were just doing like we just hear the announcers in the background, like, oh, and McCaffrey might have to come in. I was like, what?
that would have been
Like, we were
crazy.
just playing PlayStation. I was like, what
Just
the
only
hell?
adds more to his fantasy value after hearing that. To me, that's all that brings.
Yeah, I was just like, what's going on in this game?
It's like, oh, okay, so he's their number one running back and possibly their fourth string quarterback. Yeah, 1-1 next year for sure. Yeah, yeah. Either way, like you kind of said, this was. Yeah, I
It
wish
was
this
just,
game was more competitive,
yeah, of
being the number one
course.
seed and being the number two seed. We were, that's how we were displayed. We're like, oh, this is gonna be exactly like I said. This is gonna be a slobber knocker. This is gonna be great. This is two guys. But a lot of people were just saying the under for the sake of it. I think it probably did hit it by a couple numbers, but I didn't think it was going to be so lopsided.
Yeah.
Again, I wish
I mean, we're
just
expecting Purdy to get hurt. I mean,
yeah,
what
yeah.
happens if Purdy plays the whole game? We don't know.
I can't, like I said, I can't say the outcome is any different just because the Eagles were moving the ball so well on the ground. It's just nothing really that they could do, and it was maybe a mixture of just the offense. The San Francisco defense couldn't get off the field and get some air and take a breath and take a break or something like that. They were just constantly just getting whelped at the line. I think they ran the ball 44 times. The Eagles did between Hurts, Gardner Minshew took some knees at the end of the game, so that doesn't really count. But
No.
between Hurts' rushing, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott scored another touchdown, and Miles
Yeah,
Sanders scoring two.
too.
Uh, they're ready to go. I think a lot of the thing. I guess we'll really do a deep dive of the game next week. Just obviously we're not going to talk about the Pro Bowl. No one's going to watch that.
Mm.
But just it is more the question as of now. Just is this hasn't really been a challenge for the Eagles. They've had the easiest schedule. Then they get a bye. Then they get to play an overachieving rebuilding Giants team in the first round in their first set of playoffs, and then they get an injury riddled San Francisco team. And it wasn't. I guess you can't really say that until the game happened. That's kind of. I guess that's just a little bit of a. I don't know what the word is, but it, you know it's tough. Everyone's saying Mickey Mouse schedule. I don't know. It's my thing has just been just Jalen Hurts hasn't had to be challenged to throw the ball. They've just been only been able to just rely on this run game, and they have a good run game. So it's not that when they're pushing the ball as well as they are, that's fine. They can rely on that. But
Mm-hmm.
if the Chiefs are going to have any sort of chance of winning this game, and they're as of now they're what 1.5 point dogs. I think the line just moved half a point or today. If they're going to have any sort of chance of winning it, keeping it close, they're going to have to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, and that's just what they're going to rely on. So it's cool. I mean, like I said, we'll set the stage in a little bit after we go through the AFC Championship, but this is gonna be exciting. This is gonna be great, and yeah, of course, yeah, Brock Purdy. It's up in the air, really. I think he deserves a chance. At least he should be the starter until he's not. Simply, I mean, until then, it just should be proven until whatever, prove it until he's gone or whatever. He shouldn't be on such a short leash. He doesn't deserve it. I mean, he doesn't deserve to be on a short leash. That's what I'm trying to say. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you're good on that, we can go ahead and go into the AFC game. If you're good.
Yeah, since Purdy might lose his job to Tom Brady, so
Oh, that's true too. That's true too. Could
there's
slide
been
on
reports
over.
that maybe Tom Brady goes to the 49ers and takes Brock Purdy's
And
job.
is that the worst thing for Brock Purdy? Maybe he doesn't get paid, but then you're learning
Then you're
under Tom
learning from
Brady
Tom Brady.
for a year, and he's still 45. So he goes down, you're right back into your spot. So
That's true.
it's not the worst spot to be in, my
Tom just
friend.
wants to take an off day, he could be like, Purdy, you're in, Buck.
Exactly, and that would be exactly the thing too. If he did go over there, it would be he would be probably take his off days on Wednesdays. Brock Purdy would get first goal reps or first role reps. So it's not like he would be out of the swing of things. So it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing
Mm,
to get Tom Brady over there. So
Tom
sipping my
Brady
dew
or
on that one.
Aaron Rodgers. The only thing is Tom Brady doesn't cost $55 million probably. So I think they would
No.
rather take Tom Brady than
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, just don't take his financial advice. Don't invest in the FTX thing. Just don't do any of that. Yeah. Either way, yeah, going on. Yeah, we got some Aaron Rodgers stuff later, but yeah, got some AFC Championship to get on into. Boy, oh boy, this is a good game.
Yeah.
Take away all the referee
Good game for
controversy.
the lefts.
Yeah, yeah.
Good game for the
Yeah,
referees.
yeah. No, take away all the referee controversy and everyone and their mother throwing that out there. Just it was another solid chapter in the saga of Burrow versus Mahomes, which a lot of people
Mhm.
are kind of mentioning as like the modern day Manning versus Brady, Rodgers versus Drew Brees type deal. If you want to throw that comparison out there, I don't even know how many times Rodgers and Brees met up. I just wrote that down in my notes. Either way, we should be appreciating this moment, either regardless of what you think of what happened in this. So I don't know. I brought it up last week, all the reasons as to why the Bengals beat the Bills, and being doubted, being the underdogs, feeling disrespected. All those reasons why the Bengals won last week is why they lost this week. They gave the Chiefs all sorts of ammo to just fire away at them. They put the chip on the Chiefs' shoulder instead of being, they created one for the Chiefs, like I just said, referring to the stadium as Burrowhead Stadium, Eli
Yeah.
Apples, endless chirping on social media, lines flipping, the big one, I guess, being the mayor of Cincinnati, coming directly from him, declaring January 29th, 2023 in Cincinnati, they got to play us day. And trying to figure out whether or not Joe Burrow is in fact Patrick Mahomes' dad. I mean,
Oh
it
my.
was one of the cringiest things I've
Uh,
ever seen on the
uh.
internet. And it sparked one of the greatest clapbacks with Travis Kelce saying, "Know your role and shut your mouth." Oh, I love when
And
anybody,
he called him a jabroni.
yeah. I mean, honestly, if LeBron James just started quoting wrestling things, I wouldn't like dislike him as much as I do. So I think that's maybe just the thing with me. If I don't know, I can't even think of another
I
example. Either
saw
way,
people in the comments mad at that, like, you just gotta get humble. Like, I was like, sorry that Travis Kelsey's like a wrestling
bro,
fan.
no, are you kidding? He's
Like,
got to get humble.
yeah, I
I'm
was like,
sorry.
what?
I mean, as much as I like the Bengals, look at the resume. They haven't done anything besides one AFC championship out of the blue, dude. I mean, the Chiefs have been there 5 straight AFC championship, hosting
Yeah,
five
that's
straight
great.
AFC championships, winning one, being in 2 Super Bowls in the past 5 years, going to the third one. I mean, it's clear as day. Like, we're watching. I mean, people are already throwing it up there. Is Patrick Mahomes the greatest quarterback? I mean, he needs to win another one to kind of solidify for a lot of other people and a lot just the ring counters. But I mean, why not? He needs to be considered. I mean, it's magic every single time that he plays. So I don't
Yeah.
know. As far as the game, for those claiming ref ball, I would ask. I'm going to ask these series of questions, and I'm just going to throw it out. It's going to blow me away. And excuse me. I'll bow out. I'll bow down if someone can give me one valid answer to any of these questions. Are you ready? Here we
Okay.
go. Did the refs affect Joe Mixon only rushing for 17 yards? The team only having 70 rushing yards. Did the refs force 2 interceptions? Because, Burrow threw those. Did the refs sack Joe Burrow 5 times? I don't think they did. I think they were on the sideline the entire time. Did the refs allow MBS to have his legacy game over 100 yards and a score? Did the refs force the Bengals to punt the ball with 40 seconds left? And then upon that, did they block for the Chiefs on the way down, allowing them to get to basically the 50-yard line, giving up 30 yards on that return? Did the refs, excuse me, again, why upon that, why didn't they just kick out of bounds? You're going to kick to one of the fastest guys on the field, being Sky Moore, that direct time just being a tangent. Uh, Finally, did the refs push Patrick Mahomes out of bounds? Clearly, when he's out of bounds by 4 feet, to have to throw that flag. If it's no to any of these, then know your role and shut your mouth. I mean, it's as clear as that. I had no skin in this game. I had a $3 bet on the money line. So there you go. If you want my bias, there it is. But really, it
Oh,
comes down to none of that. Anyone that was watching that game, it can clearly is that clear as day. Yeah, the officiating was bad. It was bad on both ends, and it was kind of even keel. So you want to call holding on all these different plays? I'm sure you can break down a ton of other spots where the Bengals were holding and it wasn't called. And sure enough, it's just when these key plays are happening. So I don't know. And even when all is said and done, Burrow gets the ball with 2 minutes left,
yeah,
goes
they
down
had,
the
yeah.
field, and they punt it away. They don't punt it out of bounds. They don't watch that clip of Deshaun Jackson returning for a touchdown against the Giants. No. Again, they punted to, again, I don't know what his 40 is, but I'm sure he's one of the fastest guys on the field at that particular time in Sky Moore. You give up 30 yards and then a boneheaded play to, again, he's going to be a household name, but I don't know it. Osaya. Give that man a hug. He, again, everyone's, if you're going to dog on him, he played his absolute balls off. He was the best defensive player on that time. And I think that was more or less why everyone was so upset and going to ring the bell of ref ball. It's just, they didn't want this game to end on a controversy, I suppose, on just this picture perfect game, I suppose. Again, whether or not you want to say it was ref ball, picture perfect, and just in terms of they scored, given an opportunity. Patrick Mahomes fumbles in the end of the third quarter. You get it. I'm pretty sure you score. T. Higgins had a great game. Jamar Chase caught everything. There's no excuses. There's just, in my mind, there's just no excuses on the Bengals end. They had tons of opportunity to go down and win this game, and they just didn't. They simply did not. So they can cry, bitch, moan, whatever they wanted to do. At this point, it's just, I mean, that's it. They're just gonna have to enjoy the Cleveland Cavaliers or their Columbus Blue Jackets, whatever those Bengals fans are gonna do from there now. Yeah, that's all I got on that. Go, anything on that?
Yeah, the refs, like you said, were bad all around, and you can't really. It's always how it goes when this stuff happens. When your team gets eliminated and there's stuff like this, all the fans are gonna go on Twitter and find all the penalties and be like, "Well, why was this a penalty? But then why wasn't this a penalty when the Chiefs hit us out of bounds?" And it's just like it's
it's a loser mentality. It's a very bad loser mentality of just, picture, just pinpointing what is right and what is wrong at that particular time, is looking through such a small bias lens like that. Again, just hopefully gamblers' heads can like cool off after a little while, go back and be like, yeah, the Chiefs actually did win that game. The Bengals just didn't do enough, is what I would hopefully think some level-headed individuals are going to do. Sure, you can have like I said, your initial reaction, like, oh, what the fuck?
They'll accept it.
Yeah, I think more they're going to have to.
The last stage is acceptance. They're in stage 1, denial.
Exactly. Going through the stages of grief a million times as a gambler. I mean, yeah, we've been there, done that. So, I mean, again, just it's tough. I hate that taste of a flag, I guess, if you want to say, determining this game, but he ran out of bounds. Could have.
Don't hit him when
he was 5 feet out of bounds, man. That's a foul every single time, no matter what game it is. I mean, it's just what they've been doing, and he was going full speed. So again, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough because again, I've never been in that. I don't know. I've never played football, but
yeah, I mean, obviously, changing it's not like, okay, go from running 15 miles an hour to a direct stop. You can't do that. That's not. It's not good for you. It's just not possible. So, boof. Yeah, it's again tough one. I know that little viral video of Pratt, last name, I don't know his first name, but the Pratt guy. Come on, you don't touch the quarterback. Come on. I mean, I know, again, it's just a very passionate, I guess, ending. It's just like a bonehead decision of, yeah, what if I'm in his shoes, I'm gonna do that. But no, you got to be a better teammate than that. Someone other than, I know Drew Sample was good. He came by. He was the one that was basically had his arm around him during the post game press conference.
Yeah.
While he was upset, he's like, "That's a bad question." He played his ass off the entire time. Next question, and he was. That's how you want to treat this. That's how you want to deal with this. And again, it sucks. I've been in situations where a boneheaded decision cost us a game or something like that, whether it was football or whether it was just like a rec league basketball, stuff like that, where we, just stuff like that. Just you want to pick up your teammate, you want someone to be there for you. So it can be a mind altering thing. So that's just, again, just, I don't know. A lot of things have happened to this Bengals squad, between T. Higgins and other than that, and then just again, Asaya. You want the mental health of this team to what's the word? To regress. There we go. I'm just gonna make up words on the spot. Either way, keep it going. I mean, I think, I'm not gonna sit here and say the better team won. I still think all the four of these, none of these four teams here at the end of the day were, like we said, were frauds in any sort of sense.
No.
So all of them, whoever, whatever, any of these outcomes of these games, they deserve to be there. So good on them. This is gonna be an exciting Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm all set, ready to roll on that. So, excuse me. If you're good on recapping these ball games, we can breeze through a couple other things. I want to get your thoughts on just some NFL rumors being thrown around. I know you put it up on your story about your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers. I just got some house cleaning stuff on some things. I would talk NFL Pro Bowl, but Tyler Huntley just got named to the the Pro
Yeah.
Bowl team.
What?
Joining Derek Carr on the AFC side. The only actual quarterback that deserves any recognition is Trevor Lawrence. So good on him. But
And I saw
clearly,
like Adam Schefter tweet, like he posted that and he was like Derek Carr's last trip to Allegiant Stadium as a Raider. Like I was like, why do you have to say that, man? Like
I
what the
love when people say
they're
that.
not
It's like
even
it's his
confirmed that he's
job.
gone.
Like,
Like I'm like,
like you know what
what?
you're doing at Adam Schefter. You know what you're doing, Shefty. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
pissing me off lately just because he's always fucking with Rodgers.
you know it. Yeah, either way, naming Tyler Huntley to the Pro Bowl, clearly they don't care. So why should we? Not going to
Yeah,
talk
I
about it. Not even
agree.
going to watch it. We'll do a full, yeah, next week we'll do a full breakdown of just basically all the gambling props, any parlays that we're going to be
Yeah.
taking,
I
all
wonder,
broad.
will they have it for flag football?
Oh, no,
A
no, no. I'm not
flag
talking about the
football
Pro Bowl.
game?
I'm talking
Oh,
about
I
Super
was like, I
Bowl.
wonder if they would
No, no,
have
no.
gambling
We're
for the
deep
Pro Bowl.
diving. All next week is just going to be all the props we're going to be looking at taking MVP. I mean, we'll get, maybe get our initial line right now, but I was thinking, Chiefs right away, but maybe I'm just chasing the plus sign. Now my logical brain is saying Eagles, but then, it's bringing back to Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do anything. So maybe go back to the Chiefs. And then I'm hearing, oh, the Chiefs, having, when a team has had the worst against the spread record throughout the year, and they go on to go into the Super Bowl, they end up, I think they're 140 and something in the Super Bowl or something like that. The first one to win was last year with the Rams. So you got a bunch of you're pulling me left and right here, so I can't decide. And we'll look at overs and unders and lefters and righters. So that's basically, like I said, we'll do that, and then I think, in terms of just coming up with fun stuff to do, like I said, we won't be recapping any game or whatever. I think we take a homework assignment. Write this down. We're gonna go ahead and take our respective teams. So I'll take the Bears. You could have the Packers. You take your salary cap. You go ahead, look into the pool of free agents, and we go ahead and have a little fantasy free agency signing. How's that sound to you? You can go ahead, make some realistic free agents ads. We can't just be adding Lamar Jackson onto our team for 7 years for $14 million. So can't be doing that. So let's make some realistic investments. Nothing's off the table. It includes trades. So I know your guy is on, he's on the market for some stuff. So I mean, it's kind of more or less what we want to talk about. I know Drake had some bad gambling takes over the week, so we can mention that. But I think, just like I said, just blowing through some stuff. How are you feeling on this Aaron Rodgers stuff? You just brought it up earlier. Adam Schefter, kind of trolling around, maybe doing a little trolling. But how do you feel about this news that the Packers might want to be moving on from Aaron Rodgers? Where do you think he's going to go? How do you feel about this?
Uh, I love Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, he takes up so much cap space, and if we traded him, it would help the team so much.
Oh,
But it just depends what we get for him. Like it's like if I got a notification that he got traded, I wouldn't be upset, honestly. But if I would be upset if we got just nothing for him.
this is breaking to our friend group. I know I'm just melting away just hearing this right now, just hearing this point of view from you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, this is how I genuinely feel. I've had a lot of fun years watching him play. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is literally the reason that I watch football. So, I mean, it's definitely sad. It's like those thing that it's like years ago I could never have dreamed him not being a Packer, but it's gotten to a point where I wouldn't be upset if he wasn't. Like, I don't know if that's what he genuinely wants to do. If he wants to play on a different team and they want to trade him, and they'll open up like $110 million in cap space for the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of opportunity. It's a lot
And
of guys.
they'll lose Jordan Love this year if he doesn't play. And it's just that I don't know. I love Rodgers, man. It's my guy, and I'll still get the jersey, whatever team he gets traded to. Jets. If he's a Jet, I'm eating ice cream all day and night with Johnny. That's all I know.
That's pretty good.
But
I mean,
I'm
that's
still,
yeah. Go
I
go.
still
Sorry,
am
sorry.
Packer, man. Still, I got to ride with it. I'm honestly excited to see what they do without Rodgers. I mean, because that's literally all I've known my whole life is Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So it would be genuinely interesting to see what it's like with something new. Christian Watson looks like he'll be a genuinely good wide receiver for whoever is playing quarterback. So, and we still have Aaron Jones, and we still have AJ Dillon. You know, the defense is still there. We still have Jair Alexander for a couple years and Adrian Amos, and we still have all these players. So, I mean, they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay, but we're definitely not going to be like the old Packers. Like, I'm not expecting to be in the playoffs anymore like we used to. So,
Yeah,
yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is the guy, man. I hate that he only won one Super Bowl.
I love it.
Fucking makes me so.
I love it. And I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to roll in your tears or nothing like that, but it's a mixture of, yeah, they were the Packers and I just didn't like him. I never got around to liking him. And you know me, I do like Brett Favre. I like him a little bit less, with all these, these allegations and stuff like that, stealing from the Salvation Army and all that stuff like that. So I get, I can get around to a Packer guy. I just never really liked Aaron Rodgers. So him being gone is great. He's made Sundays playing against him awful. He's made every time he just that little fucking smirk, that little I hate it. Everything about it, I hate it. His little exactly, his little discount double check. I don't like it. Uh I never everything about him I just never liked. So I like that he's gonna be gone off the Packers. Sayonara, dude. Get away from me. I know a lot of people aren't completely convinced that he's gonna be gone. This
Yeah,
was
because
this
you
was
never
us
know.
last year too when when Bill and I were still doing the fucking degenerates. I mean, we were kind of saying like I don't want to I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in that, vulnerable state where like, oh man, he's gone. And then as soon as he announces he's back, I'm just back to being a wallow, pissy little pissant. So I don't know. I don't want to be, I don't want to put the
What's there
cover
to
of
be
he's
pissed
gone.
about, though? Rodgers threw the most interceptions he ever has in a season last year,
Yeah, I know.
and he
He still has
looked.
his though. He when there was that glimmer of hope. Like I don't like that he still had the chance to make the playoffs this year. I want him to not enjoy anything at all ever. So I just I that's not what I want. So I mean, I would no, it does. I guess the only takeaway would be just the Bears never really had his number. So I guess while he is
Oh,
on his
that's why you're
downtrend,
upset.
I guess so. The downtrend would be he wouldn't get his on the Packers, but if the Bears ended up meeting him anywhere else, I'm sure it'd be just as fine beating him up anywhere else. That's fine too. Uh,
Hey, Aaron Rodgers, I've got the same amount of rings as you, but
there you go, pal. I mean, just it's like I said, I'm fine with it. Goodbye. If you just getting
hmm,
getting away from them, not having to look at them, this me stuff all the time on the
yeah,
Pat McAfee stuff. I mean, he can talk about how he's not this, not that. He's a distraction. He's a constant distraction. There's no way he cannot be, and it's just. I don't know. Just the idea of like people might have some sort of, I don't know, wide receivers maybe just being uh what would it be, I guess, for lack of a term, it's just intimidated from, God forbid he doesn't catch a ball that was thrown at his feet, just something like that. It's just never his fault. That's why I can never get around him. That's why I was saying, I don't know if you heard me while you had your headphones off. Like, it's not a Green Bay thing with Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I'm a fan of Brett Favre, that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that. So it's more or less just Aaron Rodgers is an ass wipe. And so yeah, that's all. That's how I want to. Don't want to. Just don't
God
want to look
damn
at
it.
you. So yeah, I know. That would also. It's also a big transition of, you finally have this opportunity of, who's going to be my quarterback? What's my team going to look like now that I have just all these opportunities to just pay other people to get other weapons in and involved and just other stuff like that. And yeah, just to further question, just to keep it on the Packers, I'm jealous. You guys got Christian Watson. He's a very good player. He's gonna be balling for a couple of years now. So if you give him the right look, if you give him the right arm, he'll do some pretty good talent, some pretty talented things. And then, I mean, they've already kind of, I wouldn't say they've marked their playbook completely around it, but they have designed plays just for him. It seems like that. So
Mm-hmm.
seems like they got a nice little weapon in him. So good on that. So I
Like
mean,
the Packers finally draft a good rookie receiver, and
yeah,
Devontae Adams is gone. I
yeah,
was like, for
yeah,
sure. Like,
that's a
imagine
shame.
if they were both on the same team, they would have been so fucking awesome.
Yeah, even just that, just putting Christian Watson in the slot, he's so fast. I mean, just bonkers what he could do. I mean, I guess you wouldn't consider Allen Lazard the number 2, but you could slide him in over at that other spot.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I hate it. If they had if Devontae Adams stayed, if they had Adams, Lazard, and Watson, and oh my god.
I mean, like I said, you'll have some opportunity next week when we do some free agency. Maybe you can trade away some
Yeah,
people,
I'll
open up
trade
that
Adams
playbook.
back.
You can get Adams back. Treat this like, I don't care, man. Treat this like Madden. I don't care, as long as it technically falls into the salary cap. I'm fine with it. Make it cool. Let's make it fun. Either
I'm
way, if you're
not.
good
I'm
on
turning the salary cap
yeah,
off.
no, you can't turn the salary cap off.
That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah, we can't have $2.8 billion in cap room or whatever it says when you do that.
Yeah, like 2.1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, if you're good on NFL, we can look forward to a couple other things. And like I said, we always finish it off with wrestling, so we can go ahead and do that. If you're good on NFL,
Yeah. I love you,
awesome.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. I'll breeze through some MLB right quick. We'll stay in the on the Chicago side of things. Former Cub Frank Schwindel, I think you might enjoy this one because you'll be able to bet on him. Frank Schwindel joining the Oryx Buffaloes of the Japanese
Mm.
Baseball League. Don't know exactly when
Wait,
they're.
what? Frank Schwindel?
Yeah, Frank the Tank, Frank Schwindel, former. I think he the
The
rookie.
Cubs, right?
Yeah, he was on the Cubs last year, of course. Yeah, former Cub, like I said.
So wait, where is he now?
He's going to the Oryx Buffalo.
Is
Excuse
that
me, the
is
Oryx
that the
Buffaloes.
Japanese team or the
Yeah, they're in the
Korean team?
Japanese league. Yeah. So even though I
I've
just
bet
said it,
on them before,
you bet
yeah.
on them before.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you.
The Buffaloes, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. They might get some wins. I don't know. They actually have some rules on international players coming in. I think they can only have 1 or 2 on each team. So pretty good on them. It's Frank
Who's gonna
Schwindel.
cook
Yeah.
there?
Yeah,
Now that's good
absolutely.
information for me.
Yeah, exactly. Got some inside scoop on some I always love that thing. When you're like, I'm making money in my like I'm making money in my sleep. It's like, you have no idea. I'm betting on the Ukraine ping pong league right now. You have no fucking idea.
Yeah, there was one time, just for everyone out there, I made it like a Korean baseball parlay like every night for like a week or so, and it was the Lions, the Tigers, and the Bears. Oh my. And
The
I
oh
would
my
parlay,
parlay.
yeah, oh my parlay. I would parlay them every night, and there was one night where it actually won, and I just like won all my money back, and I was like, "Let's go!"
I
It's like,
mean,
hell yeah.
yeah, full disclosure, you would be betting on these teams because they were, for the most part, heavy favorites as as of right now, for most of their
Yeah,
matchups, and of course, like you said, just the Wizard of Oz type. type of reference. The
Yeah, and I
Lions, Tigers,
wasn't
and
putting a
Bears.
lot on it either. It
Yeah,
was just like fucking around.
yeah,
But yeah,
throwing a couple bones on there. Yeah.
it was fun when it actually won. I went in my brother's room and I was like, it won. It actually won.
That's the best when just long shots and like that just ended up hitting. And of course, like you said,
Yeah.
you wake up to it. You're like, I went to bed with 0 and I wake up with what? That's always the best when I do that.
Now I will always bet on the Buffaloes if I get a chance.
There you go.
And if they're losing, I'm gonna be like, why are they losing? They have Frank Schwindel. They should be winning always.
All the time they should be winning because of Frankie. So there you go. Inside scoop for some Japanese baseball. If you're be catching up or betting on it either way, Frank Schwindel added to the Oryx Buffaloes. Got some White Sox news as well. Not really adding, not on the roster. Shocker. We're going to be adding some stuff to the actual park itself, the guaranteed rate field. Something I'm more or less familiar with, the 500 section, just because those tickets are just nice and cheap, and I like it like that. But they're going to be adding two view bars, self-serving bars that they're filled with. Going to be
self-serving.
Yeah, looking at it, they're going to be served with Miller High Life and Blue Moon. Maybe could have made some better beer decisions, but
that's what they're sponsored by. So
yeah, of course, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they got
Yeah, they went ahead and removed 8 rows of seating in the 500, 516 section and in the 548 section. So I'm just going to be on both sides. Oh my goodness. I got tons of gas today. You can go ahead and check out the full article. It's titled White Sox Share Plans.
I want to look at that too.
Yeah. It's called White Sox Share Plans for New 500 Level Bars. It's by David Struett, and it's on the Sun Times. The January 28th edition is what the article I'm referring to. More or less doesn't really give any more, additional things other than they've been wanting to add this, how much it costs. It was like $250,000, I think, something like that. Nothing too crazy for a renovation like that. So I think, I just hope it doesn't add too much crazy value to the 500 section. They're if you get them on like Ticketmaster or through whatever service, they're only like $10 on anything like that. So they juice them up to 15. I'm not going to be totally upset, but I think that's pretty good. So having it going up there for games just for the sake of they are on the cheaper side, and I do actually like being up there that high. I feel like
it looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. It's got a good view. Your optics are a little off because sometimes pop-ups look like home runs and home runs look like fly balls, but it's still okay. You're not going to get a foul ball anytime soon. But again, if you're going to add something like that, that's fine. Again, you're taking away a little bit of the seating, so you got to lower the capacity. But for something like that, makes the experience a little bit cooler. And yeah, that's fine. Hits our demographic. We're over 21. We like to sip on a few beer guys when time to time. So fine. That's fine with me. Like, again, as long as it's all reasonable price wise from the tickets to the beer sale, cool with me. Good on them. So
in regards to foul balls, sometimes you don't want to catch them. Like the last Sox game we were at with Bill and them, and that guy went to grab it. It went right past him and
yeah, right in the nose.
His nose was his nose was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, not a good one. Always got to be paying attention for foul balls. I just watched a compilation of people getting struck by bats and stuff like that.
Oh my god,
it was pretty brutal, but I was laughing a little bit. I know, just because I'm a bad person. So,
well, like before they got the netting and stuff.
Yeah. Before they got the netting, it was like a 3-minute compilation of people just getting. They would just swing the bats, and either pieces of it would break off and go into the crowd, or the whole bat would go into the crowd. And yeah,
I shouldn't be laughing.
No, you shouldn't be. But it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Of course. And then sure enough, the screen cap is just a guy getting hit with it, and his face is one way, his jaw is completely dislodged.
Oh my god!
It's just it's funny, but it isn't.
Oh,
always got to be paying attention. And when it comes to that, final thing on the MLB, just getting a roundabout on that. Just any thoughts on Jazz Chisholm being the cover of MLB The Show? I don't really know if they snubbed anybody in any sort of sense. Wasn't really a
Yeah, I
controversy to
don't
me.
know.
Go ahead. What are any thoughts on this?
Like when you initially brought it up earlier, I was like, because I did see it and I thought it was cool, but I was like,
Yeah.
does he deserve to be on it? But I don't know. I guess he's a young and up and coming star, so I can understand it. But it's just like last year you had like Shohei Ohtani on the cover, who's literally like the best baseball player in the league. It's just like
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
tough
know.
follow. It's a tough follow, of course.
I guess you just expect it to be someone like Mike Trout or like somebody like those kind of players, but I mean it's fine. The Miami Marlins have cool jerseys, so it's a cool cover.
Yeah. And my thing was, I think my initial reaction was more or less the same of, oh man, it's Jazz. Does he really deserve it? Is it really his
Yeah,
numbers?
at first when
But
I
it,
saw it, I
yeah,
honestly thought it was fake. Like
yeah,
I was like, is this really the cover? I was like,
yeah,
this guy's on
exactly.
it.
But I was thinking again, like, I kind of brought myself back. I was like, no, Jazz deserves it. He was up there in contention for like rookie of the year when he had a very solid season.
He just
Uh
got hurt, I think.
yeah, it was that. And it goes back to my thing of the MLB just doesn't create stars. Like they don't go out and
That is
I
true.
mean, you can obviously, besides the height of these players, you can recognize an NBA player on their face, on their facial recognition. Probably, a higher majority of people would recognize an NBA star over an MLB star
Oh
any
yeah.
day of the week, and it's not the player's fault. It's the league. The league just doesn't. Besides what you could have got the Baskin Robbins or the Sonic different lunches with Bryce Harper and Tim Anderson. They don't really run stuff like that where they're constantly in commercials and in your face because the MLB just really doesn't. Up until these past couple of years, they really haven't just not letting the kids play, and now they kind of Rob Manfred. He's really just a stuck up, really conservative type
Yeah.
league owner, manager. I don't even know what it was his president. Excuse me. So yeah, again, it's not really a thing. And that's what it came down to in my mind. It wasn't. I was like, again, is it not my fault, or I shouldn't be looking in the light of does he deserve it? It was more or less just shame on you, or it just again, just the MLB. They're not showing off their stars enough for me to like for others to care. Just the pedestrian type player person, the public guy. I don't know. It's just I think he deserves it. I guess that's the short way of saying it, more or less. So yeah, again, just maybe again, shame on the MLB. And it's not the people's fault if you don't recognize Jazz. It's not your fault for not knowing him.
Yeah.
I would say it's the MLB's fault for not advertising him and showing him that he is actually a good enough player to be on the cover or something like that. So that's more or less my thought or point of view on it. I wouldn't ridicule anyone for saying like, "Oh, he deserves it. It should always be Mike Trout, or it should always be Garrett Cole, or it should always be DeGrom, or it should always be uh, uh, Acuna, or Ohtani like last year. It should always be the top tier elite players. It should always be no. Throw the kid up there. Throw him up there. Make it young,
Yeah,
exciting
that's
stuff
cool.
like
'Cause,
that.
yeah, usually don't
And
do
they're making a
that.
nice,
So
nice, flashy, bright colors and stuff like that. The Marlins have the nice, bright colors in their
yeah, that's what I
jerseys.
was saying with
Yeah, their
the
their team can honestly, besides the White Sox South Side, their team connect, their City Connect jersey is probably one of my favorites as well. So this is
yeah.
the red, they're all red basically. So yeah, more power to them. I'll end up purchasing the game before I buy another Madden, so I like that. So
Yeah. I love the show.
yeah, so the show's fun. The show is definitely fun.
I
If you
spent
ever get
way
on,
too much money on the
oh
last
yeah, you like
show.
those packs. You love those
Yeah, I'm a
packs.
pack whore. I
Little
fucking
pack
love
rat.
packs.
Yeah, a little pack rat guy. If you're good on the MLB, we can blow through some NBA and then we can wrap up with some wrestling. More or less just a Royal Rumble recap. How you feeling on that?
Yeah.
Cool, cool,
And
cool.
John Cena on the cover.
Yeah, that's also while we're on the topic of coverage. We'll be
Is
getting
John
into
Cena or Jazz Chisholm
oh,
better?
I hate the Cena cover. I mean, we'll just spoiler alert.
But
I
there's
hate the
three
Cena
different
cover. I
covers.
hate them all. I'll take Jazz every single time. Uh, let's see.
I like the Thug Life one when he's got the U.S. title, but
That's fine.
I'm looking at pictures of them right now for
It is
reference,
definitely a
but
cover. It's definitely a cover.
the Jazz Chisholm one is probably, yeah, it's more colorful and it's better.
God, yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to bring up the MLB All-Star starters for this year. I just really more or less don't have it.
The NBA All-Stars.
The NBA All-Stars is which is kind of what I want to bring up. From the East side, I can't. I think
Oh,
more or less the same
I've got
faces.
it over here.
Okay, yeah, shoot it. Go ahead. I know they've only. I think they might have only announced the 5
It's only the
potential
starters
starters.
right now,
Yeah, so
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, these are the locked in starters on the NBA website. The Eastern Conferences. We've got Giannis, Kevin Durant. Uh-oh. I accidentally clicked on Giannis. Okay. Giannis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum
Okay,
coming out of the East.
that's an okay squad. I already know one snub off the top of my head, but go ahead and name the West side.
LeBron, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and Zion Williamson.
Oh
Wow.
man, yeah. Two, I guess, yeah, another one on that side as well. Yeah, I mean, you can get your initial thoughts. I know just the one I'm reading around on. I know one that come off the top of my head on the east side. Joel Embiid, I think should have maybe been in there. He's had a crazy year so far, and I think
Yeah.
one of the most bonkers like individual stats. I think he had like what 59, 20, 10, and I think he blocked like 11 times. I don't know. He had like a quadruple double earlier this year with almost 60 points, and he didn't get this all-star start. And then yeah, a lot of people are also complaining that Zion Williamson probably shouldn't get the nod.
Yeah, I don't
I think he's already saying that he's not going to start, and then he might not even play that game just for whatever reason. People are already mentioning that it could be his teammate CJ McCollum could also step in and
mm.
play, but I'm sure there's also someone else that could maybe I don't know maybe make an argument. But I mean, not the worst squad on either side as of right now. Those starters sound on the West side pretty stacked. I mean, anyone when it's
Yeah, I was gonna
Luca.
say this West team is fucking
Yeah,
stacked.
when it's Luca and Jokic, I
And
mean, and
LeBron
then
and
you throw
Curry.
LeBron, and then you add a little bit of who's
Curry.
Curry too. I mean,
Yeah, it's
that's yeah,
disgusting.
that is insane. I
Those are
mean,
literally like 4 of the best players in
yeah,
the NBA.
Williamson can be in a wheelchair. He doesn't need to be on like he doesn't need to be playing that game. Like he could be 5-on-4 in that
Mm-hmm.
aspect. I just thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, again, in terms of
The
snubs,
East doesn't. They got.
they
I
got
mean,
some
I
names.
guess they've got height, but they don't have any centers in the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's more of the problem. I've always thought that was a big issue when it came to how they restructured how they should start. It turned into 3 forwards and 2 guards as opposed to it was 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a
And a
center.
center,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. More of a locked
That's how I
yeah,
always
exactly.
thought it was.
Yeah, no, not it hasn't been like that. Oh boy, it's been a couple of years since when they changed that. Again, a lot of people, including myself, not a fan of that because the center's still it's still a position. It's still a very important position, no matter how you want to interpret like playing small ball and you want to deem that the most important thing because Steph Curry sure shoots threes out of the building. And I've been a candidate for having being a fan of Steph Curry and whatnot, but I don't think going small ball and stuff like that. That's not the way to go. I don't. I've always been. I
Hmm.
think that'll be a renaissance. I think that happens more or less every single maybe like 20, 25 years. The big man it becomes so important, and then he's not, and then he is, and it's the 3 ball, and then it's the big man again, and then it's not. So I don't know. It's just
And it just takes away the chance for a guy like Joel Embiid to get recognized in a
yeah,
position like this. I mean, he's still gonna make the team for
yeah.
sure, but
He'll be the first one coming off the reserves.
yeah.
Yeah. And I always thought again, as much as I love, it's the fans paying to go see these guys, the fans go do this, so they should have some sort of voice. They always make the worst decisions. Just whenever I always remember the one year when it was Zaza Pachulia was leading the league in votes at the center position. I was like,
Oh
are
yeah.
you kidding? Are you kidding? Zaza Pachulia has more votes than Derrick Rose, Carmelo Anthony, and Jason Terry all combined in that particular year. Are you kidding me? Just something ridiculous.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah, just whether it was with those names or what, just what I was trying to say. Either way,
Yeah.
I think the fan vote should be pulled back a lot of bit. I know it's already 50%, and then it's coaches, and then it's 25%, and then it's other players 25%. It should be flipped. I think it should be like fans 5% and coaches and players split the other 95% in some sort of fashion. We're bad. We're bad fans. People just want to be trolls and do that. So snubs and thoughts on that. I mean, yeah, again, we're good on that. But did you hear about the draft concept? How they're gonna do this essentially right before the game starts? Any thoughts in particular on that?
Oh, so they're gonna draft people right before the game?
Basically, yeah. I know. I think last year they
They
went ahead and
usually
live
do it
streamed
on
it.
live stream. Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's how they
live
were
streamed
doing
it or
it.
did it right on the TNT game right before, like halftime or whatever it was, right before, right after. Uh, yeah, they're gonna be doing it basically on site a couple hours, maybe an hour or two beforehand, maybe just right beforehand.
That's awesome.
It's kind of cool. Like maybe mix up a little bit of I don't know. They can't just sit there and make up plays and it just maybe take away some team chemistry, but it's pretty cool because like it's like it gives you the feeling of a pickup game. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I was thinking.
yeah. I mean, that just sounds like exactly like that. I mean, I kind of did want to go on the limb and say, that's not a good idea. Again, where maybe we should have like, give them a week to actually practice. And no, I mean, I think that I like it a little bit better to get a little bit impromptu type deal. It maybe allows for a little bit more screw ups because you didn't get any timing down. You weren't able to practice with these guys throwing alley oops all week, so you don't know the ins and outs of their timing. So I think that could be a little interesting. I think now, yeah, I'm kind of turning myself around live right now. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's pretty
cool.
cool. Good
I didn't
concept
know
as they're
about
adding.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So they're adding to it. Maybe some other suggestions as to what they could change, what they should be doing. Maybe falls along the lines of the dunk contest. I kind of threw this out to you. Did you have any? I don't know, a lot of the people are saying, oh, it's fallen off. Some have even suggested that they move the dunk contest before the 3-point contest and finish the night with the 3-point contest because again the game has changed. The game, the 3-point, the three is the most important thing on the planet right now. So got to make that the final thing. I think it's more or less become, some of these players are just not. I can't say not creative just because it's kind of did and done. A lot of people have done a bunch of things. It's hard to be. How many times can you jump over a 7-foot other person? It's kind of a tough go.
Yeah,
So
they've done so many different cool dunks, and
yeah.
yeah, it's hard to top so many. Yeah,
So I had a couple suggestions, maybe to spruce it up, maybe to get me people more excited about it, slash just get more creativity, slash I don't even know. A lot of slashes I'm throwing at you.
yeah, hit it. I
I
want to
just
hear it.
obviously first and foremost, probably what a lot of people would say right at the top, money incentive. Just how they do it
Mm.
for the home run derby. I think Juan Soto took away almost $2.5 million just from winning and participating in the home run derby this year.
I
On
didn't know
top of
that. Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So I mean, MLB they throw some money around. So again, make it worth their
Yeah,
while.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So having the coolest dunk, whether that's fan voted or voted on by the judge, prize incentive for highest score, prize incentive for winning the whole thing, prize incentive for most coolest, whatever, however you want to do, however many incentives and cash prizes you want to give away. If you want to give away a car like they did for the Kia thing a couple years ago when Blake Griffin jumped over it, you got to do that. You got to give these guys not just like, oh, it's the pride of representing their team at the All-Star weekend. That's not enough, man. When they're
Yeah.
when they're possibly risking just, I mean, it's obviously you're dunking in an open court, but if Tom Segura taught us anything, they can get hurt at any single time when they're going up for a dunk. So it's a cash incentive, right? First and foremost, should be the thing. If that doesn't work, if you in my mind, these NBA players, they're just, getting focused on other things. Outsource it to street ballers. I mean, I maybe just a dumb idea, something I just threw out there on the flip side. I was watching those and one tapes a while back. They had an and one documentary. Get some guys like that. They had a guy a couple of years ago come off the street with some blue hair and a mohawk, and he jumped and his nose hit the rim and he did a backward. It was insane. And I'm like, I don't know this guy's name. He's not on a basketball team. He was just a 5'10" nothing that could just jump and do a crazy dunk. And like I said, he's not 6'10" and really lanky. So like he's a normal. I mean, we can move the ball. Just there's insanely acrobatic people that can just jump and do insane things. Outsource it to some street ballers, add on the cash incentive to that, and make it a prize. And make it cool. And it's like, oh, and hopefully, like, these guys have personalities, and you can throw them on the mic, and it's like, oh, my name is Jeffrey the Dom Doc Willis or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they have a cool name. I don't know. I'm so bad at come up with stuff on the spot, but hopefully you know what I am saying. Just like get it involved, and it can create opportunity for that person after that. Give them a show or give them a podcast or a YouTube series that boosts them afterward on that. And that would be my final recommendation on this, in some sort of spin. If you're going to outsource it to them, make it a reality TV show, almost like the Slap with this upcoming TBS show. Make it like kind of what it's already based off of, the UFC, The Ultimate Fighter, when you get these nobodies, these Joes, and I don't know if they're just coming off the street. The producers they're able to make me care about them through whatever. Like, oh man, I'm just growing up. I've been street balling just because I'm a single dad or something like that. Just make me care. Make it real, and then just it builds up weeks and weeks. This reality show I'm finally watching, and here finally is the dunk contest. There you go. There's your payoff right there. Tons of viewership from this reality TV show. All eyes on the actual dunk contest. And then you get an episode afterwards, a post episode or something like that. Make me care. Make me care. That's all I want. That's
like
what
that.
I want. There you go. So any other suggestions or anything based off that? Make this dunk contest cool again, man. God,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sick
really
of it.
like that.
I'm sick of the slander. It is cool to dunk a basketball. I'm like, come on.
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, I can't do it. Don't make the skills competition more interesting than the dunk contest. When they threw the big men shooting threes against the guards, I was like, that's awesome. That's more exciting than these guys just not caring about dunks and just jumping over whatever. So I don't know. I don't even care. I always say, like, there's always someone listening to my thoughts and my ideas, whether it's my my own paranoia or someone actually is. Take this idea, NBA, steal my idea. Take it. You can have it. I don't care. Just, throw me some money afterward, but take it. Or sign up for Bet Rivers. You can use that. No sub for bets, bit.ly/no sub for bets. Go ahead and sign up with that. Or, just give me some straight up money. NBA, steal my idea. That's it. That's all I really had on the NBA. Any final thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like that last idea of getting the street people. That would be awesome because I've seen some crazy ass videos, and I bet the NBA players would love that too. They would be going crazy on the sidelines, so that would be really cool.
And then just even a side thing. I think just the players would probably be around to that because it gives them a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
gives them an opportunity to dress up. They love dressing up. They love being in their nice threads. So that's awesome. Give them and even on that, you can throw in they probably already do, throw in an NBA fashion show. I'm not going to watch it, but just you can throw it in there. Other stuff for them to do. I don't care.
Love that. Players would love that.
Yeah, if that, I'm sure that's already an idea that's probably already been done. But who cares? Do that. It doesn't need to be broadcasted. Throw that on YouTube. There's enough stuff on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Follow us here on YouTube.
There's something that I have to mention. That you nonchalantly mentioned the UFC earlier when you were talking about that, and I just need to mention something.
Shoot,
because I saw that Dana White signed Logan Paul's energy drink Prime. As like the new main drink for UFC. Why the fuck do we keep giving Logan Paul money? Like, I don't understand. This guy has been caught multiple times cheating people out of money. Fake NFTs, like pyramid screams, like fake crypto coins. Like he's been a part of so many things. Like I've listened to it on H3 and all of these different people talk about it, and like CoffeeZilla and all that stuff. Like he's just such a like I don't understand. He signed to WWE. He just got signed to UFC for his energy drink.
Well,
And he
Mayweather got paid forever from that, probably.
yeah, like I just literally recorded a dead body in the forest and made fun of it. Like I just don't. I can't believe that he's just fine. Like no one cares. Like he's just fine. I just don't understand.
Yeah, no,
I
I
just
mean,
don't
if people
understand.
care. It's the important people don't care. It's it's gross, and I don't like it either. I saw that too. It's just like you got a prime sponsorship with Dana White after his brother constantly shits on the UFC for not paying their fighters enough.
Yeah, that's true too. I didn't
So
even think
I'm just
about
sitting there like,
this.
what are we doing here? Who's fighting? Who's upset with who? If you're paying him and your brother, I don't know. That
I
one was
saw some people saying it's just Dana White trying to like save face after getting caught slapping his wife. He's
Oh
trying to get the
yeah. I
young,
mean,
trying to
he's
make
in
get,
no position to say who's who's right and who's wrong right now in terms of stuff like that. I mean, yeah, when you're straight up caught slapping your wife.
yeah. He's just like Logan Paul's popular, so
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put
Hey,
my
I'm
name on him.
impulsive. Hey.
Yeah, and I saw again. Cody Rhodes was on Logan Paul's podcast. Cody Rhodes was in a
Oh, I
suit.
wouldn't put it past Cody. Fake Cody. Oh God, I don't care.
He
there's not
was
a genuine bone in that guy's body. I
That's
don't
true.
care.
I
I
was
don't
listening to
care.
some of it and he was like talking about WrestleMania. He was like the biggest night of wrestling. I was like, you're such a
Oh
you
my
would say
God.
I mean, I get it. He's with WWE, but he would
I
say
just
that same shit.
I would pay money for him to watch those old Be the Elite episodes where he's just shitting on the WWE for every single
Yeah.
thing that they
Yeah,
do.
that's what
I would pay money. The amount that Troy Dan paid to be ringside Royal Rumble, I think it was he posted that video, it was like 20,000.
22,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably pay something like that just to see his raw. I mean, it wouldn't be real. I wouldn't get an actual reaction out of him, but just to force him to watch all that and to be like, yeah, you said that, pal. You're not faking anybody. You're not fooling anyone.
And yeah,
You
that's a
are, but you're
we
not.
all know what we all know what he did.
Yeah, I mean,
Smashing the throne with his sledgehammer and
it's
shit.
that. Yeah, I mean, I've just like I said, I'll attack him because I mean, I just genuinely don't think he's real with that reality show that he had putting up like he did, and I gave it a chance. I watched that first episode. I'm like, this isn't real. Like nothing.
And like most reality
I
shows.
mean, I wasn't. Yeah, I guess that was my fault going into that and thinking it would be anything different. But when it really pulled the curtain back as to who he really is, I'm just like, he just wants to be. He just wants to be famous. He just wants to be a movie star. He got all those reality shows and just shit out of wrestling. But I got enough stuff on that. I actually had one other thing on the NBA. Everyone's talking about that controversial Lakers Celtics finish.
Mm.
It just everyone's like, "Oh, foul? Maybe." But he 100% traveled. Did LeBron James? So I don't really want. If you want to get into that, ball don't lie. Boston.
LeBron got fouled.
Yeah, but he traveled first.
He
So
pushed his arm and it literally caused him not to make the layup.
yeah, but he traveled before all that even happened.
Where?
So that gets
Where?
negated. Boston Celtics end up winning in overtime. Ball don't lie, as they say. And it's my point of view on that.
And
Yeah,
shout
I
out to
don't.
Patrick Beverly, which is probably like my favorite tech ever in NBA history.
Oh my God.
Trying to show the ref the foul on a camera and
on a side camera, on a media camera, like, hey, it's here. He got it. No foul. Like,
he just
what?
grabbed the camera from one of the photographers and walked up to the ref on the court.
That is the
And
craziest
showed
thing.
him the.
That is the craziest thing ever. No
That was
one's
one
ever
of the
done that.
best things I've ever seen.
That's amazing. Yeah, you can hate, you either love him or you hate him. It's as simple as that. I love it. I love the antics. I don't care. Oh, excuse me. If you're good on that, we can finish up with some wrestling. I know it was we were talking about Cody and that horrible transition. I kind of shit on that, but
That's
I kind
fine.
of put a damper on that. I apologize, but I know we're gonna get enough. We're gonna talk more Cody in a little bit, so I kind of wanted to, like I said, just set that aside, set it for later. Yeah, just like I said, we'll breeze through a couple of things and more or less just get to the meat and potatoes of the wrestling segment. It was just the Royal Rumble itself. So let me go ahead and fire away. If you guys want to go ahead and if it is what it is, I don't want to act like I'm whoring it for views or whatever it is. But if you guys want to take the time, definitely whatever it may be, watch the Jay Briscoe Celebration of Life tribute video on Ring of Honor. I think it's on the Ring of Honor YouTube page, or it might be on the AW page. I can't remember off the top of my head, but sure enough, if you just look up the Jay Briscoe Celebration of Life, it was like 3 hours long. If you go ahead and you can jump, that was more or less the beauty of what I liked about it being on YouTube. People can complain that it wasn't on TV, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Them having that Mark Briscoe Jay Lethal match made up for everything in my mind, and having it on YouTube allowed them for it to be 3.5 hours long and to have some just great interviews, just like heartfelt, impactful, just genuine, just great messages from people that loved and were surrounded by him. So that was so much fun to watch. Watching the throwback matches that Adam, if you took the time like I did, like I said, breezing through it, the Adam Cole throwback match for the World Heavyweight title, that was a great match. But I watched the beginning of it, the Christopher Daniels match there as well. Mixed in between is like what they recorded that night after after that match had taken place, the Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal match. Fans stuck around at the Kia Forum. They could have watched. I believe Wheeler Yuta had a match. Yeah, just I'm kind of blanking on it just because it's been a little bit, and yeah, just I kind of breezed. Like I said, I kind of skipped and jumped through it myself. But yeah, just to anybody that was like, if they were massively upset or just had any feeling of like, oh, this is disrespectful, imagine this. Put this in this perspective. You just watch Samoa Joe's heartfelt, teary-eyed message to his friend, his loved friend Jay Briscoe. He says love yous and everything to his family and everything, and he's crying, you're crying. And now you're because we're watching it on TV now. Here comes Whopper, 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 Whopper. I love Whopper. Like no. That's not what I wanted. So I'm glad it was on YouTube. The possibility of something like that is far more disrespectful than just forcing it on TV or something like that. So I was, like I said, just from being able to jump around, being able to watch these amazing throwback matches, it was a great tribute. So if you had any other comment on that, feel free. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that Ring of Honor tribute because I didn't catch it. But I mean, I saw, what they did for on AEW, which was awesome, of course. The Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal match was awesome.
Yeah, and if we didn't even cover that, again, full disclosure, you're gonna think I'm a little wimpy little bitch from this episode, from crying from the episode 3 of The Last of Us to this. I didn't full on shed tears, but I was choked up during that match, and the match itself, and of course, like you said, the little there was like a 3 or 5 minute long tribute video that they had just after like the first or second segment of AEW. The part that got me immediately choked up is when he's doing the routine, the dancing routine with his daughter. That should have told you right there what kind of guy what he was. So he was a father first and stuff like that. So very family oriented. So it was, again, just great tribute, great episode all around. And again, just take the time whenever you want, watch the Celebration of Life on YouTube, completely free. And yeah, again, more like, oh, don't have to wait for it to be on TV, or like, oh, I missed it on the DVR. It's forever on YouTube. It's that solidified. And as long, I know maybe a little morbid on some parts like that. And people are like, oh, I don't want to watch someone's whole funeral service. His funeral service is up on the thing. Of course, you're not seeing anything crazy. You're not seeing his body. It's from a very far view, just of the stage. and it was more or less just to hear his brother talk. I heard a lot of good things about his brother's eulogy that he did. I didn't check it out myself. I didn't take the time because that's also like 30. It's like 3 hours long with like the first 30 minutes is just like photos and how it would be for an actual funeral service and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. The Laurel High School, Laurel County is, of course, that's where they were from. So that's who put it up on YouTube. So the Laurel High School YouTube account is what has that. If you want to go ahead and check that out as well. Yeah, just there was some clips, like I said, of Mark Briscoe, getting some laughs, just all around. Like I said, just it's good that. And if you also another YouTube short of him from I guess a fan maybe caught him in the had maybe a terminal or something like that. It just really sounded like he had a very positive headspace, and he's obviously upset that obviously your brother passes away. You're not going to be all chipper and like that, but it's good to see him in a positive headspace. He's going to carry on the legacy of his brother. He's going to carry on those titles, and more power to him. I'm going to look forward to more Mark Briscoe matches and just more
Yeah.
that. So that's gonna be fun. Again, great match, a great way to end that Dynamite. It's just it's great, awesome all around. Can't give enough compliments to that. And I think Tony Khan even said that won't be the last tribute in that sort of light to the Briscoe brother, or to Jay Briscoe, of course. So looking forward on that. We'll be looking forward to that as well. Staying in the aid. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you had any final comments on that. If you were gonna.
Oh no, yeah.
Okay, cool. I just don't want to interrupt you or nothing like
No,
that.
yeah, you
Yeah.
you got it. You basically got it all.
Awesome. Staying in the AEW light of things. Just I don't have too much details. I didn't really look into it, and just for the sake of time, we'll just kind of lightly mention it. Luchasaurus involved in a lawsuit over the design of his mask.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you caught this. He hasn't really been on TV late. I don't know if this has been the main affecting thing of it, but yeah, the design of his mask up for a lawsuit. I don't know what. Again, I didn't take the time to look into the article. Just maybe something to go do afterward, but Rutrow. That's a
Yeah,
tough
it's
one.
I mean, that's probably why he hasn't been on TV for any sort of capacity.
Yeah, I mean, it's over the current one that he has. Maybe the dark from the images that I saw, they were focusing on the black one with the green horns, just his basic get up that he's had for some time now. So I guess that's been up for I don't know. It's a tough one.
Did not know
I hope they
that.
figure it out. I mean, I mean, he's a 60 billion year old dinosaur, 60 million year old dinosaur. I think he might have a good lawyer. I can only hope. Maybe find a good guy over those years. Yeah. Staying in the AW light of things. We'll keep up with that. I'll definitely look into it and see what the fallout is from all that. Staying still on AEW. Their video game being delayed. Was it called Fight Forever? Now being called Wait Forever, as the controversy of just whether or not it is going to come out. The only thing that's been more a debate of why it's been delayed is the rating. The Ukes company that's been taking part of and making it doesn't like the rating. It's currently an M rating. Makes sense considering all the blood, gore, violence that AEW usually has on a particular night of Dynamite or Rampage. Expecting that glass light tubes breaking, blood, and pizza
Yeah.
cutters are going to be anything lower than an M rating is kind of, I don't know, that you're just not looking for. You haven't played video games if you think that's not going to happen. They want a T for teen rating. That's kind of what the WWE games are riding on, and I could see why. It does open up the door, but that M rating, that always sounds cooler. I know that's not what all the companies want to, especially like I said, Ukes isn't. They're not really known for their M rated games. I suppose I'm kind of going on a limit saying that I don't really know, but yeah, that's kind of more or less what the controversy is about. This rating of the game. I don't know what they're gonna have to take back, or a little less blood, a little less broken glass, a little less something like that. flaming tables, stuff like that. But that's what we want. That's what we want in these
I mean, they
games.
got flaming tables in the WWE.
Yeah, they got that stuff in there. Yeah, I don't really know what exactly was the full rating, but I'm sure it's the blackout matches that they've had listed in there. Not the pitch black matches sponsored by Mountain Dew, but we'll get into those Royal Rumble matches. Sure enough, just the blackout matches that they have in AEW. Yeah, that's just more or less the controversy. I don't know what Ukes is gonna do, or maybe pull it back and they'll figure it out. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna just figure it out because Alan's waiting, and he's
Alan is
been
waiting.
waiting, and he's worried. So they need to figure it out. He thinks he's gonna have to wait until the end of this year.
He said this December. They said December 2023 is now with the new launch date. I'm like, oh Jesus, you paid for that how long ago? No, GameStop's pretty good. They don't take your money until it actually ships out. So good on them.
This
Let's
game's
see.
gonna be broken.
I don't have it in my notes, but I just remembered off the top of my head. Your boy Kenny Omega also in the news. He having some visa issues, so hopefully that can be figured out in the upcoming weeks. I believe
No.
he is scheduled and is on track to be at Dynamite this upcoming Wednesday. But that's why our Canadian guy or Canadian or what I'm pretty sure Don Callis has some sort of nickname for him, like along the line of that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the Canadian sun god or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. He calls him a bunch of random stuff.
Exactly. Either way, that's just why we haven't seen the one-winged angel Kenny Omega on our screen. The current, he's 1/3 of the trios tag champs with the Young Bucks. So you figured with that match happening, and then he just had the his match in Japan with Ospreay. You think they would build off the heat of that? They just can't because, of course, like I just said, he's basically just locked out of the country as of right now with the visa issue. So hopefully get that all clarified, figured out, and just back up and running. We'll see some Kenny Omega going. If you're gonna, I know I know you want to see Kenny Omega as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean he makes whether you like his antics off the court or whatever off the wrestling mat, or you just like his stuff on there. I mean he draws attention, so there you go. You got to have him there. He's a benefit. Let's see. Yeah, I guess before we get into the Royal Rumble breakdown, we'll kind of just tease what we already been talking about. This Cena cover to the WWE 2K. It's bad. I don't like it. I don't like any of it. They could have went so many other directions, with a guy that has been there all year long. I've seen so many renditions. I more or less just liked it because it's just so plain. There's so much stuff. You could have just made it look so much cooler. And I look back at other covers and even the WWE versus Raw versus SmackDown covers were awesome. And I'm just like, this could have
Yeah,
been better. I don't know.
it's
Maybe
more
just me.
generic
Yeah,
nowadays.
the colors weren't cool. Just I don't like John Cena being on there at all. He's not a wrestler in my mind. He's an actor. And just just I'm not a big fan of him either, but he's had the most dominant run of his career ever, and maybe the most dominant run ever in terms of championships. Give it to Roman. Isn't he your tribal chief? Do
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Yeah, those are just a ton of disappointments. And yeah, if we're gonna compare of what might be worse, the Jazz cover or the Cena cover, yeah, I mean, give it to Cena all the time in terms of what's worse. I don't want to see that. That's why I'm gonna do my best to get the digital version and not have to actually have the have to look at the cover of Cena every single time. Either way, any thoughts on that one?
No, no, yeah. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah, they just don't. WWE doesn't do. They don't have cool covers really that much anymore. So
Yeah, understandable. Alrighty, there we go. Now we're going through that fun jazz. I think we can dive into the Royal Rumble. Our thoughts on that, the Rumbles itself, the matches. We got some things on that. The overall atmosphere, everything from the ending to the beginning. We skipped over some stuff. There was a musical performance, I guess, and some people are. I think I have heard WWE was upset about that. It doesn't matter. We skipped it because we were gambling on the Rumble. That's all we worried about.
this
I
is
think
true.
I think we just break it down basically bit by bit. from beginning to end. Started off with the men's rumble. Yeah, I mean, just maybe just kind of start. You can start off with your thoughts on it. Just overall, just what happened throughout, and just winner. Just overall, what are you feeling? What were your takeaways from this rumble?
Um, I thought it was pretty lackluster, honestly.
Mm.
I don't know. I thought that this year's Royal Rumble was kind of boring. Both of them, honestly. One of the things I love the most of Royal Rumbles is the surprises because it's a chance to get to see older people. I mean, I don't love the older people, but just like seeing people you used to watch back in the day and stuff, or like maybe new people or stuff like that. And they only had like Booker T this year, and he did one move and did the spin Rooney, and then he got thrown out immediately. So
Let me see. Booker T, Logan Paul, and Edge were the big like surprises. Otherwise,
yeah, I
they had
guess
essentially announced 27 of the 30 participants. Rey Mysterio wasn't even there. Turns out, I guess he was injured.
yeah.
Breaking from the Troydan video of all things, if you paid attention, he was like, "I was supposed to meet Rey Mysterio, but apparently he was injured."
Yeah, there was a part in that video I was laughing so hard. He was like,
And maybe that's just him being trying to be funny too. Thinking about it now, maybe that's just him being a troll because we all know what ends up happening. If you watch the Rumble, he gets hit by Dominic. Dominic comes out the pick later with a mask on. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree. Lackluster would be the thing. Just overall, just very predictable. We kind of knew from beginning to end, like it was more or less going to be a handful of guys. Maybe Lesnar, maybe McIntyre has a shot, but Cody was probably going to be the front runner. And again, maybe like Rollins if you wanted to push that, but I don't know. A lot of people are also saying like Sami Zayn should have been in it, but then he was a part of it later. Again, that kind of throws in a bunch of other stuff, but I mean, yeah, in terms of like what happened, another botch Kofi spot.
yeah,
Yeah, Booker T. Yeah, I mean, if that was the big surprise, fucking lame. Not he didn't even take a bump. He gave out a super kick. He did this the kick. He did his scissor kick, and then he did the spinneroonie, and then Gunther, who broke the record with an hour 11 and 10 minutes or 10 seconds like that. So good on him for doing that, but not getting the win. Just toss him over the ropes. Doesn't even like gut check him or nothing. Just grabs him by the hair and throws him over. So good paycheck for Booker T, but not really what I want to see. I mean, if you want to see an old guy dance, I would go to the rec center or something like that. I don't really know. I don't know. Uh, just Logan Paul's spot bashing into Ricochet. It was
that was
loud. It was
cool.
loud. Not impressive. It was more or less just them bashing into each other. This
Yeah, I
we could have
thought it
done
was
that.
cool.
It looked visually pleasing, but at the end of the day, it's just like what you just bashed into each other. You just jumped into each other. Like in terms of like kayfabe, that's like, well, that's not going to help you. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Just the ending kind of dragged. I think they gave Cody and Gunther like an extra 7 minutes, and it's just like, was there any really point in time where you like, oh yeah, Gunther's gonna win this? Oh, just because he was one, he broke the record? No, they don't. They changed his name. Why are they going to give him a title run at the World Heavyweight Championship? So I don't know. Give it to Cody. Have him. I mean, two times it looked like he would just gave Gunther a light little tap and and Gunther
Yeah.
oversold and jumped over the rope and just had to because Cody just wasn't just giving it at all. I don't know. It just and again, watching it again, it just wasn't very good ending. I don't know. They could have done something more. I felt like the women's ending was far more exciting. Again, we'll get into that, but just the way that it actually ended up playing out was far more like, oh shit, oh
Yeah.
fuck, okay, oh my god, oh she got it, oh she didn't, oh my god. There was really nothing with the men's rumble like that, and I don't know, just just going through highlights like that, just more or less on our side. Tough break on Greg getting private. It's not
You
private
got
party.
you
Who
got
is it?
yeah, or no, it's the Street
The
Profits.
street getting
You got
both the
both
Street
of the
Profits
Street
and
Profits
Santos
and
Escobar. Those were his three picks we all draw random numbers. Um, yeah, I mean the way that we did it, we all picked again. Picking numbers out of the hat. We all get three picks. all spread out. We don't know who's going to be who. Just tough break on that one. But congrats to the winners, and at least in our gambling pool. So that was pretty fun. Yeah. Any other things that I'm kind of forgetting? Anything? I mean, no. I'm trying to think. No storylines weren't really pushed.
Not
I can't.
really. Yeah, maybe Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar
Yeah,
was the only thing
Lashley and
because
Lesnar,
he got
and then
eliminated by Bobby
yeah,
Lashley's.
and then people are kind of alluding to they think that because Logan Paul got tossed out by Rollins, that'll be something. And then, of course, Cody winning it will give him a title shot. So that's another storyline to focus off and branch off of. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
Mysterio with Dominic and Ray. But, like, I don't care. I don't care about that at all. I don't care about that at
Mm-hmm.
all. So yeah, lackluster again, and yeah, a big what could have been with the Kofi spot. What I don't know what they were planning on doing. And good for Michael Cole trying to be like, oh, he's got 1 foot. Did it hit? No, we don't know. He's gone. He was just gone. So yeah, that was the men's rumble. Any final thoughts on that one?
I just wish it was better. I look forward
Yeah,
to the Royal Rumble every year, so it just didn't live up to my expectations, sadly.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know what could have exactly what could have like made it better. Just like a better, like in my opinion, it could have been anybody else but Cody winning. Slash, yeah, make the ending more exciting and give me some surprise people. There was no NXT stars. There was nothing like that. I did love the one
Yeah.
thing. Someone brought up like Johnny Gargano got a bigger pop when he was on the NXT roster than he did this year. I was like, oh, yikes! Oh, Johnny wrestling. Gotta get in there, my guy. Gotta figure yourself out. I mean, it's hard being a 5 foot nothing when you're. I mean, Vince McMahon doesn't like that, so he's not back in creative, but he is probably, but he's not. So he's I don't know. It's a tough one to be. Either way, on to the next one. The Mountain Dew blackout match, pitch black match. Boy, was everything sponsored? I mean, the Royal Rumble was sponsored by Applebee's, and then I think
This
even
is Applebee's. That
this one was
elimination was brought to you by the double
Gillette.
cheeseburger at
Yeah.
Applebee's.
Get your onion rings while you're falling out of the ring with Applebee's. I mean, yeah, between that, the Mountain Dew pitch black match, and then I think Selena Vega's entrant was sponsored by Street Fighter. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus
She was
Christ.
dressed up as a Street Fighter character, and they were
Yeah.
like, by the way, Street Fighter. Like that's like just making her entrance. I was like, Jesus,
Yeah, they
man.
put more production into the Street Fighter logo than they did with even I didn't even know like her like they didn't I don't think they showed like her name like when that popped up. And it more again taken away from AEW because they already did their crossover AEW
That's
figures.
the Selena Vega brought to you by Street Fighters getting dumped into the fan of Mountain Dew brought to you by Pitch Black Mountain Dew and in the ring brought to you by Applebee's.
Just an overload. Michael Cole's freaking out. Skittles, Skittles, Juicy Skittles, Skittles.
Which sponsor is it anymore, Cole?
Oh my god. Yeah, I did like the one tweet from John Silver from the Dark Order. He goes, I guess next year AEW will have a Baja Blast match or something. I'm more or less like that. But I mean, this match just reminded me of my 8-year-old birthday party when I went cosmic bowling at the
Yeah, then
bowling
once you
alley.
said that, yeah, I couldn't
Kind of,
get that out
yeah.
of my head. It was like the Brunswick zone. It was all
Exactly.
neon. It was all dark and neon, and they like wrestlers had like LA Knight had on like all green or
Yeah.
orange, whatever he was wearing, so
The
he would
trunks
just
lit
pop.
up, the ropes
Yeah.
lit up, the
The
kendo stick lit
announcer
up
table was filled with
with
like green orbs
yeah, those
to
green
like
Orbeez,
I
like
was like, why? Like just to make it look better. It was
and
just
they were probably sweeping that up all night
they
long.
were. They
And
were.
exactly, like give me one kayfabe reason as to how those things are involved, what they are, why they would help the announcer table. I don't know what that is. Like that is just so preposterous that would even be
We were
involved in the
barely paying
match.
attention to that match, and then Jesse and Nick's brother were bringing out a birthday cake for him.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Nick.
Thank
And we
you.
were all singing happy birthday and everything, and he was blowing out the candles, and we all were clapping. And right when we finished, like we turned around, it was like ding ding
Ding ding
ding.
ding.
And we were like, wow, we just missed the ending. The one thing that we were like, fuck it. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no, I went ahead and just listened back to some people reviewing it and just watching some highlights. I mean, we didn't miss much. We saw the table spot, then they got in the ring. I think the kendo stick with that, like I said, that was all lit up. They hit each other a couple times with that. LA Knight went to hit him again with it or something like that. Sister Abigail, bing bang a boom, and it was all over. And it was just that.
And everyone will forget about that tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just another match in the string of like Bray Wyatt. Like, is he really that good? I don't know. I really don't know.
It's
It's
all
a shame.
character for him.
Yeah, it's a shame when he probably could put up some absolute bangers and make me, remember these matches, but he would have to start laying them out in a row now. There's just been so many stinkers between the what was that match with John Cena, the video, that pre-recorded. I can't even call that a match. I would just call
Yeah.
that like a music video.
The
And then
Hell in a Cell with Seth
yeah,
Rollins.
the
I remember that.
all red Hell in
Yeah.
a Cell is what also a lot of people are complaining about. We're like referring to this too. The Braun Strowman pre-recorded match too, which is, when are we gonna get? I mean, maybe he isn't just that good in the ring, or are we just gonna get more of this? And I don't know. I'm
But
not.
he looks cool when he comes down the ramp
Oh, he looks cool, and he's got a
with his
lantern.
lantern.
Yeah, and the smoke and the
And he
mirrors and
has
this and
cool
that.
promos.
Yeah, I mean, he just talks in riddles. If you like that, that's cool too. If you're like not understanding what he's saying, that's awesome. That's
He's
fine.
ominous.
I mean, all the reasons that people probably like him and all that stuff is just they're not really looking forward into it. I mean, and that's cool. He's got a good draw and he sells merch, and he's not gonna be leaving anytime soon. And there's a lot of opportunity there. I won't take it away from that. It's just like, as the current portrayal of Bray Wyatt and what he's doing right now, I'm just not. It's not my cup of tea. Not really what I'd be looking forward to. He has all the opportunity to turn around and make these matches cool and be 100% involved when you constantly give me the blackout match, the all red match, the pitch black match, the I don't know, the live from the bowling alley the match. I'm not going to be invested in it. And yeah, just this Uncle Howdy bit is just, I mean, we see it in the Alexa Bliss match, which we didn't watch. I think we had just discovered how to fast forward on the Peacock, so we missed
Yeah.
the ending of the Alexa Bliss match, and then the performance by Hardy, which who cares? We're not even going to bore anybody with that. So if you were good on that, any thoughts on that? We can just get to the women's rumble, and then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Yeah, just no real pop for I would think 25 out of the 30 girls that were in there. I mean, it wasn't really until Nia Jax came in that you finally got like something crazy and exciting and awesome. I mean, what, Michelle McCool was there. I mean, yeah, that's just more or less like things like, they're just gonna be there and not win. But I was saying it earlier, like Tegan Knox, like if you like, she got no pop. The Pixie, what was the one
Oh,
thing I was
Candice
bashing?
LeRae.
Yeah, like who cares? No one. You don't. It's like that. Like just because they don't make me care enough, and there's not enough opportunity, and I don't know. It's just when it all is said and done, it really is like Bailey. It was Sasha Banks for that time, but it's Bailey,
Yeah.
Charlotte, and maybe I don't know, Shayna Baszler, if you want to throw that in there in terms of like people that can and work. But I mean, not everyone wants to see Shayna Baszler work because she looks like a foot. But like, I don't know. There's not a lot of talent that's in there that's really worth having a 30 women Royal Rumble over. It's kind of hard. The one thing I did is like, damn, how are they going to have an hour-long bathroom break match? I'm like, oh, geez, that's a tough one. But that was also the thing with the pitch black match. Everyone in that arena was completely blacked out, and it was like right after the Royal Rumble, so people are getting up, gonna go get bathroom breaks / go get merch and drinks. They couldn't see dick because they had to watch Bray Wyatt walk with a lantern and have a pitch black match, or whatever it was called. So that was it. Like I said, getting back on the women's Rumble, it was good that I'm taking away from the actual name that ended up winning it, who deserved it. Rhea, good on her. Between Rhea, Asuka, and then whoever who was just Mandy. No, it's not Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is on the OnlyFans now. Who was the final three? I'm sorry.
It was Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Asuka.
Liv Morgan was the name. That was the name. So yeah, I mean, down to three that are actually kind of worth basically winning it. And I thought it was an exciting ending. And then just good on Rhea Ripley. She's had a pretty solid, series, good wrestling year in terms of just being in the Judgment Day, being involved with the viral Dominic clips going to the Rey Mysterio house and stuff like that. She's had a pretty solid character. She can actually work. She's worth watching and stuff like that. So good for her for actually winning it. No, even if whether she goes on to face Charlotte or Bianca, I think that both will have a solid match. I think you were telling me that,
Yeah,
Bianca.
she picked Charlotte
Oh,
already.
okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
either one would have been good because, like you said, Bianca and her have run it in NXT before, so that would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of, a lot of people would probably want this a little bit more. Charlotte versus Rhea,
She gets
real
her
test.
rematch from the old WrestleMania when she
Yeah,
lost.
yeah, that's true, from the
The
pandemic
COVID
year. Yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah. So that'll be pretty good to see. That's actually pretty. I didn't know that she had made a decision already. So that's pretty good. That'll be an exciting WrestleMania in terms of that match. So yeah. Any thoughts on the women's Rumble? I know, again, final thought on just the Nia Jax thing. If they botched it, of course, that they showed
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, and then Nia Jax's thing was already popped up. I saw just something was like, oh, the women's they need Nia, and I'm like, need necessarily? You know what? That might in fact be the word, and I'm not saying that she needs to win anything. There needs to be a dominant force in the women's division, like a thing where she goes. I mean, we know she's 6'1", 300 pounds, probably. She's a monster. She's big. She's bigger than all these 4'11", 100-pound people, 100-pound women that they're throwing out there. So an actual threat is good for the women's division. So I don't know. A lot of people are torn because she is who she is. She's Nia Jax. She's a poor performer / unsafe in the ring. She has some off-color topics on politics and stuff like that. However you want to do it. I think in terms of the wrestling point of view, you kind of need a big monster that'll get in there and fuck some shit up. So I don't know. Again, that's me. If she's not there for the long, I think she is. She's got a WWE shirt, so she might be there for a little bit of time. So I don't know. Maybe just people were pissed off because they didn't get the big surprise, the big 30 entrant that they wanted to. But I think it was okay. I think the women's Rumble outshined the men's Rumble. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I thought the women did a better job. They had some botches, of course,
Oh, of
but
course,
yeah,
yeah.
they had better. They just did better.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, it's just like anything. Obviously, the big one being the Kofi spot, but I'm sure there was other stuff just being thrown over the ropes and stuff like that. It don't matter. Overall, pretty good, and we're just on to the next one. So I mean, we'll deep dive, as it goes on later on WrestleMania, as matches and stuff are happening, and of course when it finally happens, the 2 days and whatnot, in April, beginning of April, I think it is. Either way, not important. Last one that we have through, and we'll breeze through it. Kind of just the match itself wasn't really important. Just what the ending was, what we all wanted. The drama, the I guess
Yeah,
the
finally.
tribal chief. All my what would it be? All my God, I can't think of the daytime drama that they had. They could probably do a play on words on that, but either way, Owens and Roman went ahead and beat Kevin Owens on an okay match. Had some pretty solid spots, going back and forth, and they speared him through the wall. Now, Kevin Owens can work, my guy. He other than the he had a little bit of a botch spot too, where he was supposed to springboard off the ropes. It looked like into a moonsault, but those ropes are a little slippery sometimes when you got 30 greased up dudes and 30 greased up women going over them all before you prior. So it kind of makes it a little bit of sense that something like that can happen. But yeah, just I don't really remember a couple of Superman punches and then a final spear was what did him in. And then it was like I said, it was the fireworks after what they gravitated everybody. The handcuffing to the ropes for Kevin Owens, getting super kicked and getting his head kicked off by the Usos. Finally, Roman's lining up for the chair shot, and then Sammy's like, "No, man, you're above this. You're the tribal chief. You're this. You're that. You don't need this. It's a waste of your time. This, that, and the other." Hands him the chair. You do it. Sami Zayn finally comes to that crossroads of what am I going to do here? Do I hit my friend and finally solidify this, or do I turn my back on this? He turns his back. He hits Roman Reigns, kind of ending that storyline. No longer an honorary Usi. And I believe it was Jimmy or Jay. It's like Franklin. It's like that Franklin and Bash thing. It's like I don't know who's who unless they had little tag arrows pointing after him. I think it was Jimmy. Leaves the ring after that. Was conflicted. Couldn't beat up Sammy anymore. So Umaga's kid gets him with the thing and then gets him with the spike, and he keeps super kicking him and just proceeds to fuck him up. So I mean, a lot of people were very emotionally invested in that. They wanted to see what the fallout from Sammy was going to be, and for the most part, it went a little long. It was, I think that little segment might have went longer than both of the Royal Rumbles combined, but for a lot of people, it was a good payoff and could set up some potential. I know they got the Montreal show is Elimination Chamber, so it could either set up for a throwaway title match, which some people are against, or either it sets them up to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for a tag match against the Usos at Mania, which again others are opposed to. I hope it's this last idea of they finally want to break up Roman Reigns having both championships, have Sammy get the first night title match, and then get Cody the second night title shot. Either way, that more or
That
less,
would be
like I
cool.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of, like I said, went a little too far into my prediction, what idea, but just getting into the thoughts and just the idea of how this broke down, the match itself, and just what your prediction of what it might be? What are you thinking on that? How did you feel with Sami Zayn finally making his decision to hit Roman with the chair and to get out of there?
Yeah, that was a long time coming. I love stories like that, and very similar to like when Roman Reigns got betrayed by Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Um, so I just love stuff like that, and it's been going and building up for like a year, so that's cool. Um, just trying to think. I don't know what they're gonna do with this because they're in a tough spot now with Cody winning, and everyone wants Sammy to fight Roman Reigns now. So, but I like Brian Alvarez was saying on his podcast thing, they can just do the show in Montreal and then have Kevin Owens like save him at the end of the match, and then like he was saying, have then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fight the Usos for the tag titles, and then Cody Rhodes can just do his thing with Roman Reigns, which probably seems like the most feasible outcome because Kevin Owens needs to be involved in some way too. So I feel like that's probably the best way to involve him also.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that is just the WWE cop out way, but everyone just the final payoff. Everyone really wants Sammy to be the champion in some sort
Yeah,
of
of
way, and
course.
I mean, I think he deserves it. I know not he hasn't had the best storylines, but he's such a good worker from his ROH stuff to being, El Generico. And I don't know. I would argue last year, him and his Knoxville match was probably one of the best out of all of them, just in terms
Yeah.
of, it was antics ridden. He had a giant mouse trap in the middle of it. But I mean, just in terms of entertainment value and working it was just, it was great. It was fantastic. So, everything you seem to throw this guy's way, he just knocks it out of the park. So just
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that he's working. Even if it is the disappointing route of I guess the final payoff is tag team champions, they'll make it worth the while. They'll make it worth it. Like I said, make me care. They can probably find a way to do that. So, uh, yeah, I think that's about it on that in my mind. Unless you had anything further.
Uh, no, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah, just overall, just the Royal Rumble itself, just yeah, it's one of the big four. Obviously, Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and I guess Survivor Series. So, that's their big four right there. It's tough to start off quarter one like that. The road to WrestleMania begins really there. It's a bumpy road. Yeah, it's a tough bumpy start, but I think it could, optimistic wise. I know we're AEW guys right now. Just for being optimistic, hopefully stuff can pan out, get a little bit better. And like I said, maybe I invest myself a little bit more because I mean that's not the goal here. Obviously, being wrestling fans, we want everyone to prosper and be good. We don't just want to be hone in on the good AEW stuff. We want everyone to do well. But just WWE, like I said, they do this every time. They give us the opportunity to fall in love with them, and they just they smack us up with something up again like that. So
Yeah.
either way, it is what it is. But I do want to, and just always want to end optimistic. So it could be positives. It could be a good outcome. Like I said, nothing's set in stone. If we're just the bookers, then it would be that. But there's always tons of stuff that could happen, and all it's also and so forth. But if you're good on that, I feel like it's a good close. Episode 4 in the books. No substitute for sports. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Mike, for joining in with me. Like I said, and always fun having you join in with me. One of the lambs joining in. Let's see here. Alan, take your notes. Thank you, Troy, for hopping in. Thank you for everyone that's sharing us around. Always love the numbers. I maybe should always probably start off with this, but thank you for everyone that does stumble upon this or watch this as if it's just noise in the background or if you actually genuinely like our takes and do that. So of course that's always a thank you for taking part, listening. Bet Rivers, follow that link.
Bad
It's in there down
reverse.
there. Be 21 and older and all that fun stuff. Got to be in Illinois. And yeah, I'm looking at my TV screen. Bulls blew a heart. They were up big
Yeah,
again. They
that's
they
what I
blew
was
it.
looking at if I was ever
Yeah,
looking at the
5 point.
TV.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, they weren't favored today, but just still be up like
It
10
was so
points. Yeah.
close.
Yeah, I think maybe with a little less NFL next week, we could talk some Bulls, get a Bulls check in and all that jazz. So either way, like I said, thank you for joining in for episode 4. Be sure to check in next week for episode number 5 that comes after 4. So there you go. We'll be doing all that fun stuff. We'll be previewing Super Bowl and everything else in between. So take care. Take care of yourself and each other. Wow. We'll see you next time. Wow.